and he's going to be on the program today, calling in from the hospital at 3:35. So we're looking forward to hearing from Hunter, and I think you'll
talk to him today. I can't wait to hear from him.
Yeah, he has a heartfelt statement he wants to make. Also, read a long story from Esquire on the eroding of the veracity of the internet, the credibility of what's being said, and how that's people are beginning to realize that they get taken, and that the true role of journalists and newspapers should be to correct that and to make sure the facts are correct. And this is an ongoing thing that's happening now. Of course, newspapers don't have the manpower they used to have, but that was a fascinating piece. I'll talk some more about that tomorrow, a little bit later today. But yeah, and then I read a really interesting piece in the New York Times. You know how we always talk about how we speak and how we call our terms for things like, some people call it a pop, some people call it a soft drink, some people say it's a Coke, whatever, soft drinks. I took this test. New York Times has this available. You can probably go online and find it, where you can go into the region of the country, and they'll give you a quiz of about 10, 11, 12 questions, and you'll say how you pronounce certain words, and they'll tell you where you sound like you're from. Now, this used to be a kind of a game for me. I used to do this with people. I used to have a pretty good ear, and I could come pretty much close to telling where people were from, almost the state, because there are subtle differences in Tennessee and obviously South Georgia and South Carolina and Virginia. And I have picked up on a few key words, and I could sometimes either nail it or come real close to the region. But this particular test tells you within supposedly that what region within a few hundred miles of where you're from. I took the test, and well, you hear how it turned out. Kind of interesting. And also, what's so bad about New Year's resolutions? Well, nothing's really bad about them, except we don't mostly keep them very long. But if they're viewed properly as a place where you can go and improve your life and improve on yourself and reinvent yourself, it's like changing your batteries in your smoke detector or changing the filters on your shower heads. A time when you can review and reflect and say, okay, I want to change my life a little bit, maybe not hugely or maybe hugely. And that's the time when you stop and think about what you're going to do and what you're going to be like. I'll tell you about that coming up too. And I've got a poll that tells you what the Americans are looking forward to in 2014. Also, Dr. Buddy today is in the house. Among the topics, what to do when you realize marriage is not for you after only 18 months. And as I said, an announcement from Hunter Turner about his life-changing experience in sports. Black Monday. 5 coaches, including Greg Schiano of Tampa Bay, gone. I believe also with the firing of others, the 5 that including in Minnesota, that they were down now, I believe, to maybe only 2 minority coaches. I have to count some heads and see if I can come up with that. But I believe we're down to 2 minority coaches. And I will be drilling down on the college football attendance issues, as I said. And then, how do these numbers impact the hiring of Will Muschamp? Of the 123 football bowl subdivision programs, with the head coaches as of Friday, less than 30% feature a head coach whose previous experience was strictly on the defensive side of the ball. So the offensive guys are the ones that get hired, not the defense. So that will be an interesting thing to talk about. I want to remind you while we're waiting, Tom, are we up to speed yet? Do we have music in? Do we have breaks yet? Or are we still working on it?
We're working on it, but we're well ahead of the game now.
Well, do I want me to take a break now?
Yeah, you can take a break now. We're well caught up with that. We can take a break now.
We'll take a break, and we'll come back, and Tom says everything's working here right now on the program that does have music right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of 2 study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Renstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hi, it's Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness. I'm looking forward to a fun, healthy summer, and I have a few ideas that might just help you and your friends stay in shape and have fun too. Along with awesome personal training and group classes at our warm and inviting fitness studio, we also offer fitness classes at your home or business. And if you're tired of the same old, boring cake and punch party, why not let us host a hot new health trend, a fitness party at your home or office? If you're having a hard time getting to the gym this summer, because of your crazy schedule, then work out with your friends or coworkers in a private group fitness class or host a fitness party at your home or office. We will bring you and your friends or coworkers one of our great workouts like Zumba, Pilates, Body Bar, Yoga, Tai Chi Boot Camp, or Zumba Tomics for kids. We can even help you reach your long-term goals by meeting at your place weekly for an on-location workout. Check out our website at kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. Kinetic Motion Fitness is located just 5 minutes from downtown Ocala near the Skylark Plaza. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are.
WWOCA,
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
WOCA.
Alice?
George?
Yes, Alice?
Christmas is over. Time to get all the decorations down.
Yes, I know.
So you're going to stuff them in the garage and attic again in our way?
No.
No.
Yes. No.
No.
Yes.
George, what are you up to?
I'm storing all the stuff in Devon Self-Storage across from Hobby Lobby.
Better call them at 873-0777 and get extra boxes.
Gee, Alice, what would I do without you in Devon Self-Storage?
I know, George. I know.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, whatsupocala.com.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA News Studios with this news update brought to you by Gateway Bank. According to Ocala.com, a day after Ocala native Brittany Bowe clinched a berth in the Olympics for the first time, another former Ocalan followed suit Sunday. Vanguard High School graduate Joey Mantilla set a personal record and finished third and at the 1,000 meters at the U.S. Speed Skating Trials. The 2004 Vanguard High grad finished sixth during Saturday's 500-meter qualifier. Meanwhile, on the women's side, Bowe finished second in Saturday's 500 and Sunday's 1,000 to roommate Heather Richardson. Bowe, a 3-time Star Banner Girl Basketball Player of the Year, graduated from Trinity Catholic in 2006. This news update was brought to you by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy Fridays for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
Hey, back on Black Monday, as they call it, in National Football League, the bloodletting started today. 5 coaches, including Mike Shanahan, Greg Schiano, Dusty Frazier, were let go today. Fired. Nobody really shocked that it happened. And we'll break this down during the sports hour. But I've got to look. I think there's only 2 minority coaches left as head coaches. I believe Lewis in Cincinnati and Tomlin in Pittsburgh. But we'll check on that. And
does Ron Rivera count?
Well, he'd be a minority, but I guess he would. He's not. I guess he would be as Hispanic, probably would.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he calls himself. I suppose he would be. Yes.
Because remember Mike Florio, not Florio. Who was the guy?
Was it Florio? Tom Flores.
Tom Florio. He was
Tom Flores
right.
The Raiders was the first minority coach. I think.
Right.
I believe. Anyway, way back in the day. Anyway, we'll talk about that in sports. Also, congratulations to those 2 Ocalans who were
How huge is that?
Big deal right there. It makes you wonder. I've read this story before because I know one of them has competed before, but once it makes you wonder where they have to train, if they had to go out of town and train and et cetera, do that. Ice skating is.
Well, I didn't know that Brittany Bowe was the world record holder in the 1,000 meter.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, she's a heck of a skater. Yep,
she did it just last month.
Yep. Somebody's doing some good job of coaching skaters around here. We got Josh LaSalva's in the house. Maybe he can find out for us one day.
Skate Mania.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Wait, I got to turn Josh.
Yeah, turn Josh. We're working on this. Austin and JJ's gone. Austin's off. Tom's struggling to relearn. He's got to relearn the board here today. So we'll bear with it.
See if that one works.
5.
No, that would not be it. All right, keep trying. Anyway, as we're experimenting, I want to remind you folks out there that right now we're still planning to go ahead with our viewing party January 6th of the national championship game between the Auburn Tigers and Florida State Seminoles at the Marion Theater. Will start around 6 o'clock. We'll actually have the show out there from 3 on.
I've been telling everybody I know.
Yeah, and I talked to Tom Ingram today, who said he also was telling folks that we're going to have a little viewing party on the big screen. Watch the national championship, and it's absolutely free. You come
Texas is not playing, though, Josh.
Texas playing tonight.
I still can't figure out what microphone he's on.
We'll find it in a minute. Just keep going till you play Ring Around the Roses. Anyway, that's happening. Also coming up in just a minute, we're going to talk about changing life directions. Hunter Turner's going to be calling us at the bottom of the hour, and Hunter's going to share with us an experience he had over the weekend. And I want to make sure people understand, they bear with it, because this is not something that's easy to say. And for those of you who don't know, Hunter has had a lot of health difficulties in his lifetime. From the time he was 4 on, and he's in a wheelchair, and he's had surgery again recently, and he's gone through a lot of pain. And we were really worried about him over the weekend. And during that time, he's had what he called a life-changing experience. He wants to share with us on the radio. Hunter hasn't been with us on the radio now in over 2 months. For those of you who know, Hunter started with us when we first started this show in WOCA. And so Hunter is, we welcome, we're glad to hear from him. And we'll talk a little bit about quantum leaps and changes and what have you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about it in this segment. New Year's resolutions are good for one thing. They're good to at least make you stop and think about where you've been and where you want to go. Now, we all know that we have a very poor track record of following up on it in terms of making a promise to yourself and keeping it to about 3 weeks, and the next thing you know, you're eating that chocolate ice cream again, or whatever it is you have to do, or smoke, or whatever it is you do. But here's the thing about it. And I've been one of those who've been castigated New Year's resolutions for a few years. I'm not going to make those. But, it's really not a bad thing to do, to look inward and check on yourself. If you can be honest enough with yourself to say, all right, where am I going? What do I want to do? What am I doing wrong? What's my part in this? What do I need to change? And then organizing some kind of discipline for your life. It all starts with an idea, a passion, and then a desire to go somewhere and do something or change something. And the rest is up to you in terms of execution. So I've had a little bit of an epiphany on this, that the problem that I have, and like many of us, is that I often try to make these huge leaps, these quantum leaps. And that's not bad sometimes for certain things, certainly not in the case of Hunter, who wants to share with us, but sometimes the way to accomplish things is the baby steps. So I'm embarking on a campaign to see if I can do this. I've got my goals. I don't like to even call them goals. I just have my targets, because goals sound like something, if you don't make it, you fail. I have these targets of 4 or 5, 6 things I want to do in my professional life, in my personal life, whatever, that I need to work on. And I've decided to try to make a baby step every day. Just a baby step. For instance, I'll give you an example. You want to write a book. Well, of course, anybody can write a book. The trick is to write a book and sell a book. But you got to write it first. I've done 7 of them, and actually 7.5 because I just finished doing another one recently and re-releasing it.
I'm pretty sure I couldn't write a book.
Anybody can write a book. Whether it's any good or whether it sells is another thing. But you can write it. And the thing about it is, it starts with, as a writer, no matter who you are, is that you start with a blank screen. And if you look at of a book as being, say, 365 pages, how many days are there in the year? So if you made a commitment to write at least 1 page every morning, that's nothing. That's 500 words, maybe 600 words at most. You could put, at the end of the year, you'd have some kind of book. Because I mean, and I wrote a book of 135,000 words, which took me forever to research. And
I'd really like to just see what kind of book I'd come up with after 365.
Like I said, anybody can write it. The trick is to make it any good and sell it. That's the key. Can you sell it? But that's another story. But you have to wait for your muse, which is you have to get the spirit. You have to get that feeling about what you're going to do. Then you have to move on. It's the same thing about life-changing situations and small bites in terms of your roadmap and corrections. Is you get it's the same thing with your spiritual life. Josh, you know this. Sometimes in your spiritual life, what's a nudge?
You got to get a little nudge. You got to lean in a little bit. I don't know really exactly what you're asking here. A nudge.
Well, because you've heard it.
A little push.
You've heard it talked about. A little push.
A little push.
Not from necessarily, but you may not know it's a nudge.
I'm glad my microphone's working, though.
Yeah, I'm glad, too. That's a nudge. Took a little nudge to get that going. But a nudge is something that you feel or think that you don't know where it came from. I mean, they're all kind of nudges.
It's just kind of stuck in your head. Like you feel like you got to do something.
Yeah, why is that? Why are the things like that? Why is there a song that plays that sticks in your head? Why is there a certain thing? Why do you get in the shower and things come to you? Why do you walk? Why do you walk and suddenly things start happening to you? I mean, there are things that come to you. Painters.
Mostly unexplainable.
Where do painters get an idea what their canvases are going to look like?
My whole idea of the questions I asked Powell Latimer from warchant.com last week, everything that I asked him in that interview, literally, I stepped out of the shower to my notepad that's in the bathroom and wrote them down because I had thought about them in the shower.
Some great things come to you in the shower. I just some of my best thinking in the shower. And it's where
an area of solitude, so nobody's bothering you.
Authors, serious authors, call that their muse.
Really?
M-U-S-C, yes. Look it up. Your muse.
No, I know what a muse is, buddy.
Okay.
I
didn't know.
I took mythology in high school.
Not everybody does, Tom. You're one of the more brilliant ones. But just in case you didn't know, look it up.
I did not know, for the record.
For the records, Josh doesn't
I know what muses are. I know what sirens are. I got it.
Okay, well, then there are people out there who might not. They
Police
can look
sirens,
right. So that was your muse talking to you, obviously. Now, what that muse wants you to do, that's between you and him or you and her. But anyway, so my point is to get back to doing something with your life. If you're going to have a true moment of truth with yourself, and if you meditate or you pray or you walk or you shower and you look inward and you think about what your life is, where you're going, and what you don't like or would like it to be, is that when you can get that picture in your mind of where you think you'd like to be, now the question is, how do you get there? And that's the thing I believe that I'm going to try this. I'm going to try small bites on a number of fronts. I'm going to try baby steps. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try discipline built into a daily routine that might only be 30 minutes, but it will be 30 minutes, and I'm going to see if I can make that work. So that's why I think it's a good thing. By the way, there's an interesting story out, a poll out about what Americans think of 2014 and what their views are about 2014. I'd be surprised at what they think and what their views are. So I think that's interesting as well.
Wow. Buddy, last week on this show, I did the top 10 stories of 2013 as reported by Yahoo News and Google News. That's changed since last week.
Already, huh?
It's already changed, the stories that have been requested. You'll be happy to know that the Aaron Hernandez arrest is no longer one of the top 10 stories.
Mm-hmm.
and that Phil Robertson is no longer one of the top 10 stories.
Yeah, that story kind of changed the day that we talked about it, too.
Yeah, A&E kind of backed up. But now entering in the list is Nelson Mandela. The death of Nelson Mandela is in the list.
Oh, see, that should have been in the list to begin with.
Well, I heard your show last week. It was an interesting topic, and I almost wanted to call you, but I wanted to find out how this is judged.
It's the most researched stories on the internet.
Right. But what I'm just going to say to you about this is I read this story in the Esquire, really long story, and a bit tedious, about how the internet's being used and how people gauge the importance of a story on the internet, and how headlines are written simply to get people to click on it. And when you have a story, when you have a poll, and you're saying most interesting, well, that means they clicked on it the most.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
So my question is it the story that people clicked on the most?
Or the one they read?
Is it the most important story? Is it one they read beginning to end? I think there's a lot of questions. Which is why it represents a sort of a fall result in the internet, is that you don't know how to gauge it. And when people say the most clicked on story, it by far might have been the best story, the most important story, but I might write a story about a duck with 4 heads and may get 1,000 hits in the next 5 minutes.
Right. This is the top search stories of 2013 that people clicked on.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's about clicking on it. Not necessarily the ones that were the most important. Now, if you want to say most important, I'd take a panel of my peers in journalism, along with a group of people, and say, let's ask them why the Mandela story was, in fact, important. And that's the question that has to be asked. And that's the essence of a journalist. A journalist who can look at a story objectively as possible and put that in perspective and tell me why it's important. And the credibility of that journalist goes a long way toward people believing that when they do it. So that's that situation. All right, Buddy Martin, along with Tom Schmitz, Josh DeSalva. We've still got a full day ahead, including our fake and factoids. Dr. Buddy's in the house. We're going to talk about what to do when you realize marriage is not for you after 18 months, something that somebody did. And coming up in just a moment, we'll be talking to Hunter Turner from, I guess, Shands Hospital in, I don't know if you saw him yet or not, in Gainesville. He's had quite an experience. He wants to share that with us and how it's going to change his life. Listen to the program called The Voice of Ocala right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source. This reprise of Ask the Cops is proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
Is there one or two things that in particular that either or both of you can think of at the holiday time to be more aware of, more alert for, or just everything times 10?
Well, I think it's everything times 10. You know, anything can take place, you know. And, you know, I think the biggest thing is that when you're coming out of businesses shopping at night, you know, we always recommend that you travel with someone, especially for the ladies that if they're out there by themselves, you know, ask management to walk them out or something. Just make sure that you don't go out by yourself because they're watching. I mean, there's people out there that will watch. And
Predators right there in the parking lot waiting.
And, you know, either they're going to grab your purse or they're going to grab your gifts. So you just need to be very cautious. And I highly recommend that you shop with someone. I think it's just so important.
Join us for Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Hey, welcome back to the program. Coming up in just a minute, we've got Buddy's List, People of the Year in Ocala, which will appear in the magazine in a couple of days. I'll be sharing it with you here, and Tom, you're not on the list.
People of the Year? Whoa, how did I not make the list?
I don't know. Well, you didn't make it up. If you'd have made your list.
If I'd have made the list, I'd have been 1 through 10. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, no. I'd have probably put, after realizing how I missed JJ, he'd have probably been 10. Hunter would have probably made the list. Josh and Austin never would have made the list.
Now, JJ would be number one. I'll tell you
right about now. Yeah,
I'll tell you, number one will be number one on all of our lists. Our buddy that we've been missing around here now for a couple of months. I'm proud to say that he's on the phone with us now. I'm looking forward to talk with him. He's been through quite an experience and ordeal, by the way, which he's with his health. And he wanted to call today and tell us about his recent experience. But first of all, Hunter, good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, buddy, and Josh and Tom, and I hope all's well. And I'm just glad to be back on the program.
Well, I'm glad you're back on the program. You probably can't see it from here because it's hiding. Maybe Josh could go and get it over there. You got a chair here that says Hunter's Place on it. So we're saving this spot for you when you're back. And I know you've been through. Why don't you kind of update folks? And I've said this earlier on the show. For those who don't know who Hunter is, we just kind of assume everybody knows you, Hunter. There may be some straggler driving down I-75 right now who's from Cleveland who doesn't know you. So just in case, I'm going to remind them that Hunter I met Hunter out at College of Central Florida in Rob Marino's class. He, along with J.J. LaSalva, who was an intern here for 2.5 years, and he just left last week. And Hunter has been a part of this program during that period of time, except when he's had some bouts with his health, which he's had for a while. For those who don't know Hunter, he's in a wheelchair. He's had a lot of illnesses he's had to deal with, a lot of pain he's had to deal with, and we thought we had him over the hump a little bit recently after all the problems he had with his.
He's a slacker.
Yeah, with his with his kidney stones, and now and then of course kidney surgery, and unfortunately you had a setback and had to go back to Shands. Anyway, having said that, give us the update on your health at this point.
Well, buddy, today I just had a CAT scan. I've had problems with my kidney. I had my left kidney removed. I've been sitting up here for a long time. You know, they make you see psychiatry after 30 days up here. I was joking. I thought about Tom earlier.
Yeah. So say, can they get a 2-for-1 program on that?
If you saw the psychiatrist, the first thing you should have said was, "I got this friend."
That's right. I tell you, it's been crazy, but I'm making it. You know, each and every day I get stronger. I'm getting up in my chair for the first time today in 15 days, and I'm just excited about that. I'm making progress, and, you know, I wanted to tell my story today because it's so impactful, and I want to reach so many people. And like you said, the person driving from Cleveland today or driving back home, you know, and they got the radio on and they're sitting with their families. I got a lot of friends listening today, and I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Albert Peak especially for being there for me in the past few days, and people like him who have been a true blessing in my life.
Well, that's nice, and we're gonna get to that experience because I want to hear about it. I want to say that for those folks who've never had any kind of spiritual experience, if you've never had one, and someone tells you about it, you might look at them like, "What are you talking about?" And is that weird? But I know people who've had that, and in fact, I've had one myself. And I know that when I tried to tell people about it, it was like, look at me like I had 3 heads. But, you know, I know what happened to me, and I know it's a fact, and so I can only say what I know happened to me. And I talked to people like Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the great Dr. Peale, who told me about his experience. And there have been many, many others that people are kind of afraid to talk about. They're like UFOs, Hunter. If people see them, they say, "Oh, I'm not going to tell you I saw that UFO, man. You think I'm crazy." But having said that, for those who don't believe, well, that's your issue. But for those who do, I think will understand what Hunter's talking about. And I want you to go ahead and tell the whole story in its entirety. It's what you talked to me when you went through all this, and you had your pain, and after your kidney, and you'd left the hospital, coming home, and you thought you're going to get to spend Christmas, and you go right back in Shands, and you're in a great deal of pain, and you're taking medications, and you're just in a real bad place. So why don't you pick it up from there, Hunter?
Yes, thank you, buddy. Well, I was in a real bad place. I was having seizures, and I was laying in this hospital bed on, I believe it was Friday night and Saturday, and I'm just shaking. I'm having these seizures, and all of a sudden, on Saturday, I see these serpents, and they come to me, you know, through my, during the seizure, I was convulsing back and forth in this hospital bed, and I remember I see the Lord, and I start to see His presence, and then He takes me on a journey. He shows me my stepdad's drug addiction. He shows me, you know, my dad go through college, and he shows me my family and my stepmom struggles with their problems. And then he tells me, he says, "I'm going to give you more strength and more resources." And he says to me, he says, "Hunter," he says, "I'm changing your course in life. I'm calling you to seminary school, and you're going to preach." And I said, "What?" I said, "I can't preach." He says, "You're going to. I'm going to give you the strength and the wisdom." And then he says to me, he says, "You're going to continue to do radio with Buddy and Tom." And Buddy, he shows me part of you growing up, and that was really incredible. I never got to tell you that, but he showed me as you went through college and the experiences you had and getting to where you are today. And it was really incredible. There was no real details to it, but it was just incredible to experience that. And then when I woke up, I was gasping for air, and the nurses say, and my girlfriend says, she saw the devil come through this room, and they saw it too. And it was a real spiritual experience. And I know people are listening on the radio right now going, "This is absolutely nuts," because I'm feeling the same way. I thought, what in the world? How can I do all this? And then he says to me, Jesus says to me, he says, I want you to go preach with Joel Osteen at Lakewood Church in Houston. And I said, no way. He said, I'm going to surprise you on New Year's Eve. There's going to be a big surprise. And he says, you're going to help him write his sermon. So I say, okay, how am I going to do that? And he says, I'm going to give you the words to do this. So he's preaching. It just so happens this Saturday coming up, he's preaching at the church, and Sunday as well. And so I called and told my story, and they told me he would call me back by Friday. So I'm waiting to hear back from him. It's just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible, guys. And I know it gives me goosebumps telling it over again each and every time I tell it, because I truly believe it. And I can't wait to get back with you guys. I miss the show so much. I miss covering golf and football and just talking with you guys and talking with Tom and everything else. And I really just can't wait to get back and miss you guys. And Josh, I still love your sports talk, man. You get better and better each week.
I appreciate it, Hunter.
Well, Hunter, I tell you, you did that well. I know that others have said this. It's hard to talk about that. Sometimes people can't talk about it. Can't talk about it for days after it happens. It's so overwhelming to have an experience like that. And there'll be those who'll say, well, yeah, sure, he was on drugs and all that sort of stuff. But you know what you know. You know what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. It's a very powerful story, and one that I'll just say this much right now. I've made a decision that if in some small way I can contribute to help you do that, and somehow or another to, be with you or whatever, I'm certainly here to serve with you, okay? So whatever.
Yes, sir. Just take the journey with me. I want you all to take the journey with me, and I'll be there with you guys as well. And we'll take it together. I just want to take it with everybody together.
That's amazing. Amazing story, Hunter. Thanks for sharing with us, man. Appreciate it. We love you.
Thanks,
you know that.
buddy.
And the Lord has blessed.
Lord
has blessed us by getting to know you, Hunter. And I know He's blessing you in a special way now. All right, Hunter. Thank you.
So fun.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Hunter Turner.
Bye.
Well, there it is. So make of it what you will. For you people out there who understand it, and those of you who don't. But
he's a much stronger person than either one of us.
Well, first of all, you can hear in his voice that he's stronger right now. This is the best I've heard him sound in, weeks. Because here's a young man who has steel rod down his spine and who's lost a kidney, who is already crippled with MS and in a wheelchair. He's got more courage and more guts and more pain tolerance than any 50 men I know. He's a remarkable young man, and I pray for him to continue on with his journey. This is exciting. He's excited, genuinely excited about this, and I'm excited for Hunter. Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back, see if we can round out some fake or factoids or something coming up here next right here on the program. If Tom can find the buttons, I don't know. That's always a challenge.
It's a challenge.
We'll see if he's, like I said, send out is there like a bat signal for JJ where you can put it up in the sky and say, please come back temporarily? And I guess he's hiding out from the
negative
Miami
Ghost Rider. The pattern's full.
Yeah, he's been going. He's in mourning for the Miami. Miami getting hammered. So
hammered.
So there you go. Talk about college football in the Sports Hour. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
WOCA, News Talk 1370. Good talk, great conversation.
On the next day of Ocala Live, Robin.
Yes?
It says final show.
Oh, no.
Are we done?
No. This is just our last show.
Yeah, I know. Final, last, same thing. I'm going to miss doing this show. We've done it for 11 years.
Oh, I know, but we have to branch out. We have to go to New Year's, so this is our last show.
That explain. What is that music? It's so sad.
It's Old Lang Syne.
We're old.
I know,
They're kicking
old.
us out.
No.
They're putting somebody young in our place.
No.
Oh,
This
man,
is just
I knew
the last
this day was
show.
coming. The last show.
For 2013.
Yeah.
We're going to be here in 2014.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is kind of happy music, you see.
So it's not the last show at all.
No, it's the final show.
Who's going to be there?
We're going to have Carol Ann Baldwin on her show, You've Got a Garden.
And Joe Reichel. He'll control our damage.
That's right. And Dr. Heather Tick will tell us about holistic pain relief.
On the next day of Ocala Live, the last show.
Yeah.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
I want to thank Hunter for his testimony there. It's very powerful stuff, Hunter. And we'll talk to you again soon. I want to just say a couple of reminders. Number one, the Marion Theater, we're going to have the big screen on for the National Championship game. It's free. Come down, take part with if you're a Knoll or if you're an Auburn Tiger. We'll have more about that. Tom and I'll be broadcasting down there.
That's going to be a pretty good gig, too, next Monday.
Mm-hmm. Could be fun. Also, I've got something here to talk about from Forbes magazine. Talked earlier about reinventing yourself, and tweaking your life and making things better. I've got an article here about rebranding and some of the new trends. And one of the things it said, the over 60-year-olds, today 60 is the new 30. What used to be retirement age is now mid-career, according to Forbes. And finally, the big announcement you all been waiting for, right here on the program. We need to get a drum roll. Can we get that in 2015 and 2014?
We may be able to.
Because for big announcements like this and the really big stuff comes along, like Buddy's List.
We're efforting that.
People of the Year, things like that. That's something we should be able to have a drum roll.
We're efforting that.
Efforting, where that word came from? Anyway, it's an old wire service word, actually. Okay. For those you don't know, I have a column that appears in something called Best Version Media. It's called Downtown Neighbors. It's called Neighbors. It's called Southeast Neighbors. The neighborhood magazines that are around the county, 6 of them. And you don't all get it. You can't buy it. You can't get it on the internet. So some of you haven't seen it. It just goes to specific households. I picked instead of Person of the Year, my People of the Year. And today I'll reveal half, and I'll reveal the other half tomorrow. Some of you have seen sneak peeks on the Facebook page here and there, but if you haven't, here are 5 people of my list of people of the year. You got a song for me? Music? I'm not hearing it.
Oh, there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of the year 2013. Part 1, John Alvarez, owner of Alvarez Trucking, very active in charitable causes and a big guy behind Project Hope, among other things. Doug Cohn, President CEO of Cohn Distributing, been a driving force in the merger of the Chamber and EDC, currently serving as chairman of the CEP. Brad Dinkins, President of Bradford Development, founder and chairman of Helping Hands, spent countless hours helping families relocate, providing shelter for single moms. Mano Fakori, philanthropist and business leader. She's president and CEO of Fakori Leadership International. She's big time into the things like the Kiss the Horse literacy campaign. And finally, top 5. I say top 5. They're all the same. Rondo Fernandez, our buddy at Rondo's at Mojo's, philanthropist and owner of Mojo's Restaurants. He's catered numerous charitable events, pro bono, supports many causes. So there you are, the first half of Buddy's People of the Year. John Alvarez, Doug Cohn, Brad Dinkins, Manal Fakuri, and Rondo Fernandez. Tomorrow, part 2 coming up. It's time for Fake or Factoid.
We'll never get it in. We only got a minute.
We get it in. Come on, here we
Not
go.
in a minute.
Guys. Multiple choice. The first product to have candy bar code was A, Ivory Soap, B, Wrigley's Gum, or C, Mounds Candy Bars.
Wrigley's Gum.
Wrigley's.
That's correct. Number 2, true or false? Blonde beards grow faster than dark beards.
False.
True.
It's true. Tom's up 1. Number 3, people who eat supper after 8 p.m. tend to sleep better and longer. Therefore, many of them live longer.
False.
False.
You're correct. It's false. Number 4, mosquitoes have killed more humans than all the wars in history.
True.
True.
Correct. And that final question, sometimes it's more than superstition. 5 people were killed walking under ladders last year, and 2 bled to death after getting cut by cracked mirrors.
True.
False.
Correct. It is false.
Well, then we're tied 1-1.
I don't have any more. We got the end of the tie today. No more.
Packers.
There you go. All right, another tie. Go for it. All right. Coming up next hour, said we can get it in time. We got time to spare.
You got about 10 seconds. I believe you get it in.
Yes.
Well, JJ and I don't. Josh and I don't hesitate. JJ and Austin like to hesitate.
There you go. All right. Next hour coming up, we'll recap the events of the day. We'll talk with Dr. Buddy's in the house. He'll tell you about a guy who says, what do I do when I realize marriage is not for me after 18 months? Well, we'll tell you about that. Lots more to come right here in the program called The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hello, it's Santa. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala, and we're on a mission to help everyone within the sound of my voice. This week, get the appraised value of your old car plus up to $3,758 off a nicer, newer car.
Our For the People credit approval process will get you approved.
But like Santa, we can only do this once a year, so hurry in.
Or call 694-1234. See our Prestige.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of Kinetic Motion Fitness here in Ocala, Florida. A lot of you have experienced our great classes in personal small group training, but did you know we now offer dynamic workouts on DVD? These high-quality, locally produced, effective DVD workouts can go where you go. Going on vacation? No problem. We can go with you. Friends and relatives out of town who are jealous that you get to come to KMF? No problem. We ship anywhere in the United States for free. Our great lineup of 4 DVDs includes Kinetic Achieve, Kinetic Couples, Kinetic Core, and Kinetic Campus. 4 great workouts for the entire family on DVD. Sound interesting? Check them out on our website at kmfocala.com. While you're there, check out our class schedule and come see us. We're only 5 minutes from downtown across from the Skylark Plaza. Visit kmfocala.com and like us on Facebook. KMF will get you results at our studio or at home with one of our DVDs. Kinetic Motion Fitness. We're ready when you are. Visit kmfocala.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, Ocala. Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound all-beef chili dog or a tasty home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
California hospital may take a 13-year-old girl off a breathing machine within hours. Oakland Children's Hospital says she is brain dead. The family's been unable to find a long-term facility that will take her. They're now attempting a last-minute court intervention to keep her on life support. A big drop in the number of law enforcement fatalities this year, 111 nationwide, the lowest in 6 decades. 33 the result of firearms. That's the lowest since 1887. The leading cause of death, traffic fatalities. Drones will soon be flying over half a dozen states. The FAA says it's developing test sites in Alaska, Nevada, New York, North Dakota, Texas, and Virginia. The world's largest TV went on sale today at 110 inches. It's larger than a king-size bed. Samsung rolled out the new set in South Korea, China, the Middle East, and a few European countries at a price of $150,000. It will be shown at the Consumer Electronics Show next month.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This could cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us if you want Viagra at the lowest prices. Never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-908-5260 today to save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-908-5260. Call 800-908-5260. That's 800-908-5260. Again, 800-908-5260.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Welcome now to the program. That was the voice of Brendan Martin. I want to say thanks to Brendan for helping us out on our podcast, which, by the way, you can pick up. People don't know. We should probably tell them about that. You can actually log on and hear some of our interviews. Like we got Jim Kirk. Who are some of those we got on podcast?
We have Daniel Owen when he came on with Mark Mundell. We have an angry co-host talking about
we don't
letting
need to hear that.
Letting young talented people get out of our town because we don't have anything to keep them here. We have
imagine that.
We have Ivan Maisel from ESPN talking about the Heisman Trophy and the national championship game.
All right, anyway, we got a bunch of stuff. And when we're really up to speed and everybody's not on holiday, we try to post these interviews. A lot of people don't get a chance to hear them, so tell them how they can hear that.
You go to WOCA.com. When you see the picture of Buddy Martin come up for the Voice of Ocala, click on that picture.
As fast as you can when you see that.
You click on Buddy Martin's picture. It'll take you to the Voice of Ocala webpage. You pan down to the bottom you scroll down to the bottom of that page, and there'll be a podcast emblem. If you don't know what a podcast emblem is, it's a big blue square with a dot and 3 right angles with a set of headphones on it. That's the podcast. Click on that. It takes you right to our podcast page.
If you find your way there, Tom will give you a prize. Anyway.
I mean, we got things about. You ever wonder about the details of the General Motors bailout with Greg Martin, executive director for General Motors? We have an interview with him telling you about the General Motors bit. We got Carl Zalek compares Project Home Run to the FedEx deal.
Well, I'd like to know more about what's happening on the 6th of January. Do we have anything up there about the national championship? Anyway.
And we do have this, though. Does it matter what date you get married? A Dr. Buddy. See, so we even got Dr. Buddy out there.
Speaking of Dr. Buddy, I just saw him. He's in the house. And he's got a lot of things to talk about. We've got a factoid today for Dr. Buddy, from Dr. Buddy. Comes off the internet. Being in love improves memory. You also remember 60% more of your dreams when you're in love. How about that? No wonder my memory's so good.
Well,
brownie points.
In love with my wife at home. Absolutely. So here's the deal. When it's going good after centuries and centuries and you've been married a long time, as many of us have been, it's good to go. But sometimes it doesn't go so good. We know that the divorce rate is over 50% in the country right now, and it's just how it is. It's a fact of life. And then we also know that many, many people don't get married, and that's the largest segment. But regardless of whether you're married or you're with somebody, I guess it's in your mind the same thing, and I'm not here to say, well, that's good or bad. That's up to you. But I read with interest this particular note about a young man who said after 18 months, he realized marriage was not for him. Here's something he wrote. Dr. Buddy, music, please.
I'm efforting it as quick as the advertisement on the internet will allow me.
Josh, I hope you don't let him get away with this.
I think I'm running the boards tomorrow.
I think you might be allowed to learn to run a board.
Quickly.
Okay. Having been married only a year and a half, according to this article, I've recently come to the conclusion that marriage is not for me. Now, before you start making assumptions, keep reading. I met my wife in high school. We were 15 years old. We were friends for 10 years until we decided no longer we wanted to be friends. I strongly recommend the best friends fall in love. Good times we had by all. Nevertheless, falling in love with my best friend did not prevent me from having certain fears and anxieties about getting married. The nearer Kim and I approached the decision to marry, the more I was filled with a paralyzing fear. Was I ready? Was I making the right choice? Was Kim the right person? Then one fateful night, I shared these thoughts with my dad. Perhaps each of us have our moments in lives when it feels like it's time to slow down, or the air becomes still and everything around us seems to draw in, marking that moment as one we'll never forget. My dad giving his response to my concerns was such a moment for me. With a knowing smile, he said, "Seth, you're totally selfish. So I'm going to make this really simple for you. Marriage is not for you. You don't marry to make yourself happy. You marry to make somebody else happy. More than that, your marriage isn't for yourself. You're marrying for a family, not for just the in-laws and all that nonsense, but for your future children. Who do you want to help have raise them? Who do you want to influence them? Marriage is not for you. It's not about you. Marriage is about the person you marry." The writer goes on to say, "The very moment I knew that Kim and I were the right person for me, I realized I wanted to make her happy, see her smile, I wanted to be a part of her family, etc., etc., etc." He says, goes on talking about the fact that some years ago, his wife finally taught him what it was all about, to live and love selflessly, and he said it really took away the fear he had. However, I guess you're in a bad place whenever you get to a point where you've been married and you realize it was a wrong step going down the aisles. I've known people who were, the moment they got married, wish they hadn't. I guess that's what you call marriage remorse.
I was very happy to be married. Then right at that 60 months to the day, it's like a car when you get that car final payment on the car.
Buyer's remorse.
It was time for me to get a new car. Both my marriages lasted 5 years to the day.
Your warranty ran out, I guess, huh?
They traded me in.
There you go. All right, there's a little note for you about marriage. This particular one I was going to, I've got an interesting one. 8 things you should never say to your husband. Never say to your husband.
Well, I don't have a problem with that.
Well, let's see what they say.
I'm not going to say anything to
Tom
a husband.
says everything right to his husband.
Yeah, and I say, this is what you don't want to hear as a husband from your wife. You're just like your father. Not something you should say to your husband, okay?
Why not? My dad was a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Number 2, when are you going to find a new job?
Oh, that's a bad one.
Oh, yeah, I've had that said to me before.
Here's the one that you really don't want to hear if you're a husband. My mother warned me you'd do this. By the way, so far, my wife has said none of those things.
Any comment that starts with my mother is never a good thing in a marriage relationship.
Probably not. Number 4, this is a little this is just dripping with sarcasm. Just leave it. I'll do it myself. You've heard that one.
That means you better do it right now or else. Miss Joni's may say, I bet Miss Joni said that to you before.
That she has said.
Once or twice.
Number 5.
In the last week.
Fill in the blank on these. You always blank, blank, blank. You never blank, blank, blank. Those are always things that get filled in.
You always go to happy hour. You never take me. Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Here's one you really hate to hear. Those pants you're wearing are not very flattering.
Yeah, well, that skirt you got on ain't real good looking either, honey.
No wonder you didn't last but 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Number 7. Ugh. We're hanging out with him again. And finally,
it's your father.
And finally, please watch the kids, but don't do this. Take them here or forget that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to hear
So
that.
a few things that you don't want to hear from your wife. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got one more item from Dr. Buddy here on a Monday after Christmas and before the new year. We hope you had a great holiday. We did. Coming up in this next hour, we've got lots of things to talk about, so stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. I almost said 7. You see that? 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Proudly brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976.
Internet question said, for the parade, and the police will be there for control, the sheriff saying numerous times, the department is understaffed. Are there enough officers to keep everybody safe for the parade in all of Ocala?
Yes. We pull from, the Ocala Police Department is the primary agency that's involved in the security of the parade, but we have assistance from the Sheriff's Office, from Denellen PD, and from Bellevue PD. We also use Highway Patrol, and every now and then we'll have Game and Fish. When you see the officers driving the cars and stuff down the parade and they look like they're in the parade, well, they are, but they're also part of the security team that's involved in the parade because they're watching as they're going down the parade route.
Join us on Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala on WOCA, The Source.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Whenever something big happens in Ocala and Marion County, Buddy Martin is there on the case.
John Gruden, ESPN Monday Night Football, today spoke to the group here at the Gateway Bank. I'm going to play a little game of just word association with you. One, Ocala.
Ocala is just a great community. It's a great group of people.
John Gruden coaching again.
One of these days I'll be back.
So remember, always check out Buddy Martin on the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
That is one sound no one likes to hear, but if it happens, know that it will be reported in seconds to the right authorities. AA Lock, Dock, and Security is your company for your home and your business. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, where you can get that extra key made or have your lock rekeyed. Questions to protect your home and business, call 352-867-1965. Or stop by AA Lock, Dock, and Security at their new location, 219 Northwest 10th Street here in Ocala. Remember, be proactive, not reacting after it happens. Call 352-867-1965. 352-867-1965.
How good does it get? Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. This afternoon, clouds and sun, high 75 to 81. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 53 to 64. Clouds and sun for tomorrow, high 71 to 75. Wednesday, a shower, high 74 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Andy Robb.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA News Center with this news break brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. According to Ocala.com, a day after Ocala native Brittany Blow clinched a berth in the Olympics for the first time, another Ocalan followed suit Sunday. Vanguard High School graduate Joey Mantilla set a personal record and finished third in the 1,000 meters at the U.S. Olympic speed skating trials. The 2004 Vanguard High School grad finished sixth during Saturday's 500-meter Olympic qualifier. On the women's side, both finished second in Saturday's 500 and Sunday's 1,000 to roommate Heather Richardson. Bo, a three-time Star Banner Girl Basketball Player of the Year, graduated from Trinity Catholic High School in 2006. This news update was brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie weekly as she joins Buddy for her Biz Buzz, her Good Neighbor Award.
All right, before we finish up with Dr. Buddy, just a couple of notes. I mentioned this at the top of the show when we started out about I love the weekends and I have a chance to learn stuff. And one of them I'll deal with in the sports, but one of the most interesting things I've experienced, the New York Times had a piece which I read on the internet about identifying colloquialisms and what terms are used in what part of the country. And they said if you clicked on a map, you could click on a map and you could actually identify what part of the country you are from by how you answered the quiz. Really? And there were 10 or 12 questions, and the variety, I don't have the questions in front of me.
Where was this test at?
New York Times over the weekend. And so I took it, and I've got it somewhere on my internet. I can't call it up now. And I essentially asked basic questions. How do you pronounce the word B-E-E-N? And some people call it Ben, or some people call it Bean, and some people have different accents on it. And ask questions like, what do you call the grass between the sidewalk?
Yeah, it says, how would you address a group of two or more people? You all,
right, correct.
Use,
right.
You lot,
yeah,
you guys, you-ins,
right.
yours.
You got it obviously on the internet. You found
it.
it.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm not going to give the whole test today, but it basically gives you
25
an
questions.
idea. Of what you'd found like. Well, each one has numerous answers to it. So I took it, and I've lived in other places. I lived in New York quite a few years, Colorado for 17. So, but I grew up here, and at the time I grew up here, Ocala, Marion County were more like the Deep South in that point in time. And remember, Florida at that time only about 3 million people in it. Today, you mentioned in the story last week, Tom, that you didn't know how many, you had the questions, how many people were here. And JJ, I think, well, JJ wasn't here, but Josh guessed, I think, 5 million or something, right?
No, that was Austin.
Yeah, you guessed 3 million.
Austin.
And Austin guessed 5. And they're almost 20. And what I want to say about that is that sometime the next year, Florida will pass New York with 20 million, bigger than New York, the state of New York. Anyway, the point was that back then it was a different kind of Florida. So my accents or colloquialisms were all flavored by Deep South, as this test will apparently will show. Although people in New York didn't think I had a Southern accent. So anyway, so I took the test and they asked the question: what do you call, a drink of some kind you get that's got carbonated water? And it goes over the question like some people call it pop, some people call it soda, some people call it soft drink. I think I put soft drink down because that's what I would say growing up. Some people actually called it, as you said, Tom, call them Cokes, no matter what they were. They said, I'm going to get myself a Coke, and that meant any kind of soft drink back in the day. So I took it, and where would you think that they guessed where I was from? I know there were 3 places. I remember 2 of them. What would you say they guessed where I was from? What town? What city?
What city?
Yeah, our state.
State of Ohio.
Ohio, okay.
I would say probably Colorado.
Birmingham, Alabama, and Jackson, Mississippi.
Wow.
I'm taking the test right now. I'm going to see where they say.
Yeah.
They're probably going to say, well, if they get you from Birmingham, where now?
Deep South.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Jackson, Mississippi,
Jackson,
and one other
Mississippi.
one. I forget where the other one was. Yeah, the 3, all in the South, Deep South. So, yeah, that's where I'm from. Interesting, though, and I've always loved colloquialisms. I've loved accents, and I used to really do this a lot. I was pretty good at it at one time, as my wife will attest to. I could come within a state or two, and sometimes right on state, by what I can hear someone talk and say, "You're from Virginia, right?" "Yeah, I'm a Charleston, right?" Right. I can almost pick the location because I have an ear that picks up dialects. And there's a difference in a person from Michigan and a person from Ohio, for the most part. Those are from Northern Ohio. There are differences in East Tennessee and North Alabama. They're just difference in accents and even words and how they say things. And so this was interesting to me. So far, what I've seen, I don't think it's very accurate. But I think when I game was on and I could actually identify where you're from by just how you talk, I think I was better at it. I really do. So anyway, that's one of the things I learned. I thought that was interesting. The colloquialisms. What's that test called, by the way? What do they call it?
How y'all, yows, and you guys talk. What does the way you speak say about where you're from? Answer all the questions. Okay. You'll see your personal dialect.
What's the email address?
It is NewYorkTimes.com/interactive/2013. It's
okay.
Yeah, I just put in what I put in mine is New York Times. Where are you from?
Yeah,
it came right up.
Yeah, and I got it. I got it on Twitter over the weekend. Sent to me. Okay, so anyway, that was kind of interesting. The other thing is, it's not time for it today. Josh, you want to be a communications director, right? I mean, communications major, right?
Yes, sir.
And ultimately, you'll wind up probably going to Texas, more than likely to major in that. And what do you think, what does communications mean to you?
I would say describing a situation or a setting, explaining something to someone else in such a vivid and visual description that they know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. And in this particular case, it's with a vehicle of some sort. Although personal communication can mean that, from your standpoint, professionally, it means being in a radio, TV, or something, being able to express yourself, to communicate with ideas and thoughts with other people, correct?
To where they can pick it up first time.
Right. And what do you think it would require you to be successful?
Research, schooling, a lot of English classes, and actually like a vision. Because you can't just get up in front of a microphone and start talking. You have to have vision in order for you to succeed in what you're going to be talking about.
And you're very good at that. I've seen you speak in front of large crowds in churches, things, and you're very composed and you're on target and you communicate extremely well. You're very good at that.
Appreciate it.
But my point is that there's one missing word that we got to remember is the veracity, is the honesty, is the integrity of how it's said. And sometimes you just hear that in a voice.
Right.
You know when a person talks. I mean, is there any doubt in your mind that Hunter Turner and what he told us last hour about his vision he had, that he was really being truthful about it?
Oh, no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely not.
No,
right?
100% true.
And so you know with conviction he talks about it, so therefore it's true. So the problem is with the internet is that we don't know what's true. There are all kind of hoaxes out there, and even Snopes.com can't catch them all. There are all kinds of rumors and what have you, and so the internet has heightened our pace and taught us to move so fast that we move so fast on rumor that it becomes fact before we realize it's not fact. And CNN got burnt with that, remember?
Yeah.
In Boston. And they got burned by using Twitter and whatever, picking up social media.
Yes.
So there's obviously something wrong with our communication system when what we're quoting and we're communicating is 30% false. So what we have to do, what your generation is going to have to do, Josh, is you're going to have to sort those things out and figure out what the truth is. And in the end, this piece of Esquire, which is really good, by the way, it's kind of long. Some of it's kind of hard to read itself, but it portends that, what about websites, and there are a few, what about newspapers' jobs to make sure that they are policing the truth? That without question, and again, the truth is you know it. You can only be as good. Because when you report and you write, you have sources, and sometimes your sources get it wrong, or sometimes your sources lie to you.
Well, remember during the Boston bombing situation, what a debacle that was for the news broadcasting as a whole, reporting 800 different stories at every change.
I remember we did it live on the air, and Buddy kept reminding everybody this could change at any moment. And we were reporting everything we were hearing, and the story changed vividly over a 24-hour period.
Went from 3 people to 2 people to 1 people, back to 4 people, then
In our situation, all we can do is report to you what they are saying. We can't say it's fact.
Exactly.
We say, this is a report from Yahoo. They say this. We don't know. We're not there. Now, and that's one way of reporting it. But you have to be very careful. And as I said, CNN got hammered for that. So this piece was about the veracity and the eroding veracity of the Internet, how that's going to change and morph, what's going to happen to communications. Is there going to be any role in the print media? Probably not so much. Or is the Internet going to be it?
Right.
And I just think there's something beyond that. I just don't know what it is.
When I click on a news article, I don't want to have to be playing a fake or factoid on a news article.
Exactly.
I want to know exactly this is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
That's right. And Tom, when you said earlier, you talk about the stories of the year, the reason I stopped you on that was because the most clicked on story is not necessarily the biggest news story of the year.
No, this is just the most clicked on stories from Yahoo.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I finished my test.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared of this New York Times poll. This New York Times
poll.
article.
That's just a.
I'm scared of this.
Well, it probably says you're from
New
South
York
Georgia.
City.
You know where it says I'm from?
No, Cleveland.
The three cities it gives you?
Yeah.
Macon, Savannah, Charleston.
Pretty close. But you're not even close to Charleston. You're not even close.
That's what they said.
But you're not. In Charleston, the parts of Charleston, they actually talk like Virginians say south and both. In Charleston. There's part of people there, and you're not even close to Charleston. Macon, I could see, and there's no doubt about that.
Well, that's what they have. They have me in the most red in Macon and Savannah.
But they don't know what North Florida is. They don't get it. They haven't got it in their computer.
No, I'm sure North Florida's still Savannah to them.
They don't know that. No, they don't know what that North Florida is like that. They think it's Florida's like a different state completely.
Yeah.
When in reality, it bleeds into South Georgia, and we all know that.
Yeah.
So that's the part that their computer doesn't know. Anyway, I thought it was interesting. So you're from Savannah, and you're from
Savannah, Charleston, and Macon.
All right. Well, there you go.
Well, if you drew a triangle around those cities, I'd be
somewhere in there.
That's Augusta, and I could say that's probably I'd probably fit in Augusta.
Well, but you didn't grow up there. But anyway.
No, I didn't grow up.
You
in
travel a lot too, so you lived other places. So
I have lived in North Carolina and Chicago and different places.
Well, there you go. That tells you. I got this poll, and I hope I can pull it up. It's on the Huffington Post. Tom, you might try while I'm waiting. Poll shows Americans are looking forward to 2014 with hope. Let's see what they say. So apparently they're optimistic about. How are you out there in Radio Land? Are you optimistic? You're certainly more optimistic than you were last year or the year before. And the consumer confidence is obviously way up. And the market is I don't use the market to judge anything. Because to me, they're probably about maybe 15% of America's in the market. It's not for most of us working stiffs. So I think, but I mean, apparently, from what we're gathering, it is in fact going to be a better year all the way around. Of course, as my good friend Ed Johnson said, I happened to hear him preach over the weekend. And if you haven't know Ed, he's a former pastor of the First Baptist Church in Ocala, was back in town. Apparently he and Hilda bought a condo, but he just lives in Tennessee. I had a chance to hear him speak over the weekend. He made a point to say, we don't know what is ahead for us in 2014. As he said, they just bought a condo, and they moved in it, and they had all the grandkids over, and they had toys and baby strollers and everything else. And so Ed got up the next morning. He says he tripped on something on a stroller and broke the glass with his elbow of the window. And he said then his wife went to call somebody to fix the window and dropped her cell phone in water. He used that as the example of saying we don't know what's ahead for us in 2014, and that's exactly right. Who knows?
Well, according to this Huffington Post, like you said, 50% said their own fortunes will improve in 2014, while only 14% say that it'll be worse than 2013.
So much of it is our optimism and feeling good about ourselves and our country. And if I could change any one thing about it, and we'll take a break after this, is that I wish Americans would not be so divisive, that they were not polarize themselves in one small sector and say everything outside of this is bad. I wish people would be, and I thought Dennis Baxley, by the way, I thought had a really good column in the Star Banner 2 weeks ago where he talked about just that. He said instead of chastising somebody who says, happy holidays, I don't believe in saying Merry Christmas, just say, fine, be nice. It's okay. Well, they believe different than you do. Say, well, you have a happy holiday and move on. Why do you want to confront everybody and demonize everything that you don't think is part of what you are? I mean, we've got to be a little more tolerant, don't we? I mean, I don't care about your politics. I'm not saying you have to believe in something that you don't believe in, or if you're against this or that, or whatever the case. Certainly, we've seen enough of that. What happened with Duck Dynasty and Phil Robertson and the gay community and what have you. But we've got to at some point come together, don't we? And realize that in this country, we can't always beat each other's throats. Good debate is good. Political discourse is good. Disagreement is okay. But there's almost a diabolical, mean-spirited movement of people out there who are just want to say something mean and hurtful to somebody. And for whatever reason, I don't get. And that's the part of it I wish we'd be better at.
Well, I agree with you 100%, buddy, before we go to break. If politicians would care less about getting at each other and more about getting the job of the country done and the county done and the city done, we'd probably get a lot more accomplished in 2014 than we did in 2013. New York Yankees coming to Ocala.
There you go. Here's a couple other things before we go to break. 54% Americans say they'll be ringing in the new year at home.
Yeah, I was surprised about that. Only 8% said they go to a bar.
1 in 5 are heading to a friend or family's house. 8% going to a bar. Younger Americans are least apt to spend a holiday at home.
Yeah, but only 13% of them are going to a bar. Right. That's surprising.
And the other thing is, it's just safer. You know what I mean? It's safer.
Well, this year, as in all years, AAA. All you got to do is call AAA free. They'll get you and your vehicle home on New Year's Eve. So,
yeah.
No reason to drink and drive this year. AAA will get you and your car home.
Yeah. As far as the stories go, and I know we just debated that, we'll talk about it on the other side, I don't think it's, whether you like it or not, I think Obamacare was the story of the year on both sides. The failure of it and the effort to rescue.
Jody Arias trial, buddy. We've already talked about it.
And that if that is not a life-changing thing for us, good or bad, I mean, the fact that it doesn't have to be a story you believe is right or wrong, it's how many people were talking about it.
It was number 2 on Yahoo, according to Yahoo.
Everybody's talking about Obamacare for better or worse.
It affects everybody.
Yeah, it does. And then, of course, Mandela, you mentioned, Tom, the Boston Marathon, those are all big things. So, anyway, those are just things I think are big. And Star Banner's in the middle of doing their top stories. We have to get...
their number 2 story was the death penalty cases for the murder. The kid, 15-year-old that got killed in Bellevue last year.
I wonder what the number... Have they done Frank Stronach yet? Their top 10?
I don't know.
Star Banner? Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got much more to come right here in the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Dr. Seaborn Hunt, board-certified ophthalmologist, the only ophthalmologist in Marion County offering bladeless laser cataract surgery with astigmatism correction. What does this mean to you? It means that your cataract surgery would be done with the newest and most advanced cataract surgical techniques on the market today. It means no more metal blades and more precise incisions. Laser cataract surgery combined with the new technology multifocal lens implants allows you the opportunity to be independent of glasses for most things that you do on a daily basis. Call Dr. Seaborn Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
You know what that anticipation feels like when you're about to open a gift? In a Box offers personalized gifts. Everything you'll need for that special occasion. In a Box. Holidays, birthdays, graduations, spa days, weddings, anniversaries, get-wells, and more. In a Box. Visit inaboxcelebrations.com and pick your theme. There's even a corporate option. Inabox creates the magic, and you'll be the rock star. Visit inaboxcelebrations.com, partnered with Woodley Gardens.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
On the next day of Color Live, Robin.
Yes?
It says final show.
Oh, no.
Are we done?
No. This is just our last show.
Yeah, I know. Final, last, same thing. I'm going to miss doing this show. We've done it for 11 years.
Oh, I know, but we have to branch out. We have to go to New Year's, so this is our last show.
That explain. What is that music? It's so sad.
It's Old Lang Syne.
We're old.
I know.
They're kicking us out.
No.
They're putting somebody young in our place.
No.
Oh,
This
man.
is just
I knew
the last
this day
show.
was coming. The last show.
For 2013.
Yeah.
We're going to be here in 2014.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is kind of happy music, you see.
So it's not the last show at all.
No, it's the final show.
Who's going to be there?
We're going to have Carol Ann Baldwin on her show, You've Got a Garden.
And Joe Reichel. He'll control our damage.
That's right. And Dr. Heather Tick will tell us about holistic pain relief.
On the next day of Ocala Live, the last show.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Hey, breaking story. Tim Tebow back in football, but on the announcer side. We'll tell you more about it. Be working for the new SEC network. Get a chance to see Tim Tebow on TV talking football. So we'll tell you all about that coming up momentarily. And I had this story about rebranding, which I thought was really interesting. Part of our theme today is about the upcoming year and sometimes tweaking yourself, maybe reinventing yourself or reinventing yourself with small bites. Something I'm going to try this year is I've got about probably 6 things I want to do, and I'm trying to set a discipline for myself to do tiny parts of those things on a regular basis and try to stick to that in hopes that the result will be what I want it to be after a certain period of time.
I don't know how I could reinvent myself. I'm pretty close to perfect, so, you know.
Well, you're one of those exceptions. I will say this, and also some others might say you're just hopeless. But that's
you meant exceptional, didn't you?
Yeah. I think if I could say anything as a person who's been around for a while, I don't think you should ever stop reinventing yourself. And I think there's always opportunity. In the first place, you start is learning something, and then being honest with yourself. And I must tell you, my entire life I've been that way. I've gone from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing, and been blessed to have enough ability to make a living at it. But the most important thing is it's like your calling. What are you called to do? Like we talked about before. There's certain things. What are you called to do? Who knew that 2 years and 11 months ago, I would wind up being back in sports talk radio again, and that this this guy 5'2", 400 pounds would walk in the door and say,
David Lamb talked you into getting back in the radio?
Or walked in and said, hey, I want to do radio with you. And then here we are, and coming up on that third anniversary, believe it or not, here soon. So things change and situations change. So this particular story is from Forbes. It's about branding. And branding, and brands change.
I watched Backstory, a show on Great American Country about Kenny Rogers, and I didn't know that Kenny Rogers first broke into the music business as a doo-wop guy. No, he was a doo-wop guy first. The first place he was a doo-wop guy, then he was a rock and roller, then he joined First Edition and did the psychedelic thing. Then it was Kenny Rogers in the First Edition with the rose-colored glasses and the long hair and everything.
I saw that Kenny Rogers.
And then he got out of that and became Kenny Rogers, the guy we know, the country singer. So he reinvented himself all the way from doo-wop, rock and roller, psychedelic to country.
And by the way, and now that you brought it up, and I love Kenny Rogers in his day, I'm going to get to this next. Really good television, unexpected last night was the Kennedy Center for the Arts President's Show with the people they honored, and boy was it good. Shirley MacLaine, they had a terrific review on her honor. My man, a guy that I think is one of the great musicians of our time, and people don't talk about him enough. Billy Joel, brilliant songwriter, brilliant performer, and on and on. There were several more, as a matter of fact. In fact, one of them was a guy did Black Magic. Help me out here. Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana.
Anyway, I'll tell you about that. That was a heck of a show. Anyway, back to this before I digress. Back
branding.
To this branding. Here are three. I'm not going to read you the whole list, but Forbes has this list of what's happening, how's it going to be in 2014? Because brands do change. My gosh, look at how products change, and companies change. One of the things that in medicine, they're talking about prebiotics, and meaning probiotics, and it says there's always a market for miracle cures, especially when they don't involve major lifestyle changes. This year's contender is cultivating bugs rather than zapping them.
Really?
If you ever taken the white probiotics that Laurie always talks about, you take them every night, and you create the culture in your gut with probiotics. And they're supposed to help you. Scientists are studying the effects of the body's microbiome, microbiome, B-I-O-M-E, our gardens of bacteria, viruses, and fungi, and identifying how having the right balance of bugs in the digestive tract plays a crucial role in health.
Wow.
Look for a new class of probiotic or prebiotic supplements and superfood brands. I'm a little suspicious of a lot of things because we're finding out now that all these multivitamins we've been taking aren't helping us. We're now finding that out. But anyway, this is one of the few things in medicine. Number two, here's a really interesting one. Rebranding the world's oldest organization, which would be what? Oldest organization.
Religion.
Correct. The Catholic
Church.
And it says there's a reason Pope Francis was named Time's most influential person of 2013. He has thoroughly reinvented an ancient brand tarnished by scandal. The Pope's policy stances are different from those of his predecessors, but it's also the way he relates. He personally calls people for a chat. He tweets. He's connected with a wider world. So the Pope is rebranding. And finally, one more. Over 60s seek new roles. Today, 60 is the new 30. What used to be retirement age is now mid-career. With this huge demographic reinventing itself, the word senior will go from being an embarrassing euphemism to a badge of honor and respect. Marketers had better be ready to talk to this generation intelligently.
That's just because there's more of y'all because y'all hadn't died yet.
Mm-hmm. I do think that's something probably everybody's going to experience before it's over, including some younger people. Nonetheless, it's
Gerald Ergel's calling me right now, probably.
Oh, he'll be at your house tonight. Don't worry. So those are some interesting things I found today from the article in Forbes. Take a break, come back. We'll finish up with tweets and quotes right here on a Black Monday where coaches are getting beheaded. 5 already gone. Greg Schiano Mark Dormanick, the general manager, including we got 5 coaches, including Shadow. Also, I'll tell you about Tim Tebow's new role in football, all coming up next right here on Buddy Sports Page and the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
We're not just the horse capital of the world. Ocala Marion County is now the hoops capital, too, thanks to the 2013 national champion CF Patriots basketball team. The McDonald Allstate Agency brings you the reigning kings of the court all season long right here on WOCA. Coach Tim Ryan and the Patriots look to defend their national crown and get set to host the state tournament this coming spring. The McDonald Allstate Agency brings you CF basketball only on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name. If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get this stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Employees who work at least 11 hours a day are nearly 3 times more likely to experience depression compared with people who work a regular 8-hour day. Our metabolic rate drops roughly 10% from early adulthood to late middle age. So a slice of cherry pie at age 40 will affect you a lot more than it did at 25. Do you know the first words you speak to somebody will set the tone for the entire interaction?
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hi, this is Joe from Damage Control Services. Join me Tuesdays at 10:30 when we discuss what to do when your property gets damaged, how to fix it fast, and get back on track. At Damage Control, we specialize in helping home and business owners recover from damage caused by floods, fires, storms, tree damage, mold, and all other insurance-related disasters. So when disaster strikes, big or small, call Damage Control Services. Call me 352-817-6574.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Could have at least played some Billy Joel. Garth Brooks singing last night in Allentown for a Billy Joel song. And it was quite a performance, a terrific review, a tribute to Shirley MacLaine of dancers and Broadway tribute. Carlos Santana was there, and it was...
that Lincoln Center is pretty good.
This is actually Kennedy Center.
Oh, the Kennedy Center.
Yeah,
okay.
I thought it was Lincoln Center too. But they give Tony Bennett came out and
in New York City.
Introduced Billy Joel, who's a great American songwriter, and they had the song that Billy Joel sings about Vietnam and the Vietnam War, and they sang it, and then in the middle of it, they brought out veterans of the war on both, like 50 of them, and they all sang together. It was amazing, and really emotionally, just really amazing. And
what I found amazing was I'm watching it last night, and they pan out and they're showing people before that are milling around in the lobby shaking hands and everything. They had a photo. They had a stop when they stopped, and it's Tony Bennett, John Kerry, and Snoop Dogg all standing around talking
I saw
to each
Snoop
other.
Dogg hanging around there. Thought you were going to tell me it was JJ. Or
I thought it was
something.
Tony Bennett, John Kerry, and Snoop Dogg all hanging out together at the Kennedy
Josh,
Center.
you ever listened to any Billy Joel at all? Probably not, huh?
Probably not. No, I have not.
Wonderful songwriter, fantastic piano player, and a great musician, really. And his song about Allentown, it's about the steel mills closing down.
Right.
It's all about, much like the Boss sang about, his state, but it was a fabulous song, and all the other songs that they saw. Of course, New York State of Mind is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard, period. And he sings.
Really like that song, don't you?
I love that song. Daily News is mentioned in it, that's why.
Let's get a little New York State of Mind.
It's a great song. You can do that as I'm doing tweets and quotes.
You'd rather have that than tweets and quotes?
No, you play it in the background while we're doing it. But it's the New York State of Mind. It mentions the Hudson River line, which is a line I wrote every day in New York.
That's that line that just had the
New York Times and the Daily News is mentioned in there. It's very new. It's like the way Buffett is Florida and the Caribbean. Billy Joel's New York.
There it is.
And if you've ever lived in New York, they're in New York. So let's as we read tweets and quotes, let's hear this intro. Turn it up a little bit. One of the best piano players in any kind of music. Coming up to the end of the hour, tweets and quotes. We got Billy Joel. Here's a couple for you. Number one, death is only the second most common fear among people. The first is failure.
Wow. I did not know that.
The price of greatness is responsibility. Winston Churchill. Let's hear Billy.
Take a holiday from the neighborhood. Hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. But I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind.
Oh, Billy. Number three, Albert Einstein says that if the bees disappear, we're all going to die soon. Says if the bee disappeared off the surface of the globe, man would have 4 years of life left. Wow. That's scary. And finally, a little bonus. A family of 26 could go to the movies in Mexico City for the price of one in the USA. Wow. All right, good to hear Billy. Thanks for playing that. Coming up in the next hour, Tim Tebow's got a new job in football. It's Bloody Monday, Black Monday. 5 NFL coaches fired. I'll tell you all that coming up next, right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Having the motivation and making the commitment to quit smoking is a great first step towards becoming smoke-free. However, anyone who's tried to quit smoking knows how challenging it can be. Having the determination to quit may not be enough. You may need some help. If you're ready to quit smoking and are between the ages of 18 and 75, currently smoke 10 or more cigarettes a day, and can commit to participating for 24 weeks, you may be interested in a research study which is being conducted to evaluate the use of investigational drugs to see if they can aid individuals in their quest to quit smoking. To help you quit, smoking cessation counseling and all study pregnancy-related medical care will be provided at no extra cost. You may also be reimbursed for your travel time. To receive more information about this study, how you can participate, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala, 352-629-5800.
Dr. Seaborn Hunt, a board-certified ophthalmologist in Ocala. There's no referral needed for an appointment. Call 873-7200, offering medical services for glaucoma management, including laser surgery to help lower your eye pressure and potentially reduce your dependency on eye drops. He also evaluates and treats diabetic retinopathy, one of the leading causes of blindness, with advanced imaging and laser procedure to help prevent vision loss. Dr. Hunt's office accepts most insurance and files claims for you. Call Dr. Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
Getting a head start in learning to read is more important now than ever for our young children. The Reading Pals program of Marion County pairs up reading mentors with struggling kindergartners and helps them get up to speed in their most important years. But they need volunteers. If you'd like to be a Reading Pal, call Jan Hathaway at the United Way at 732-9696. That's 732-9696. Be a Reading Pal today.
Mayhem is everywhere.
On the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. Call me at 622-2333 and let's make sure you're in good hands.
Plumbing. I see. Ooh, we can try to fix that. I'll send someone right over. How's the third Wednesday of next month sound? Say between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Would that be fine? Of course it will. Now I'll just need your credit card information.
Does that sound all too familiar? Well, next time, call Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. We schedule around your time, not ours. And we have straight time, anytime, all the time. That means we're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. We install traditional and tankless water heaters, repipes, drain repair, septic service and installation, irrigation systems, new construction, remodels, bathrooms, kitchens, even gas line installation and service. And we've been doing it all for over 25 years. So call today, 237-2888. That's 237-2888. And remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Hi, Carl Champley here. Join me every Saturday afternoon for DIY Live, your complete guide to getting that DIY project started and finished the right way.
And when you need the right product for that do-it-yourself project, visit the DIY Home Center outlet right here in Ocala, just 2 miles east of I-75 on Northwest 10th Street. From carpet to doors to real wood cabinets, visit the DIY Home Center outlet today and tune in to DIY Live.
That's DIY Live Saturdays right here on WOCA, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Another record day for the Dow, up 26 to finish at just over 16,500 with one more trading day left in 2013. Investors will have plenty to celebrate tomorrow night. For the year, the Dow is up about 26%, the S&P nearly 30%, and the Nasdaq up about 38%. Ford says retail sales have risen 15% through November of this year. The automaker expects to sell at least 2.4 million vehicles in 2013, enough to make Ford the North America's top-selling brand. In just a few hours, Children's Hospital of Oakland will be allowed to remove a 13-year-old girl from life support. Doctors say Jahai McMath is brain dead after complications from tonsil surgery, but her family is holding out hope. The Kaiser Family Foundation says there is a coverage gap in the health care law that leaves nearly 5 million people without coverage they would have had if they lived elsewhere. They live in 25 states that declined to expand Medicaid. This is ABC News.
If you're a homeowner who's faithfully made your mortgage payments, you deserve thanks for doing the right thing. And I'd like to tell you about a powerful financial tool that rewards your commitment. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and the tool that I'm talking about is the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. HARP is designed to help you lower your mortgage payments. It's for homeowners who are current on their mortgage payments, but due to the housing market may have little or no equity left in their home. And even if you were unable to get a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that now you may be eligible. More than 2.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of HARP and are saving an average of $250 a month. If you're one of the millions yet to take advantage, call us today at 800-QUICKEN. To learn more, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That number again is 800-QUICKEN.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the Full House at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome back to Sports Page. It's Black Monday, it's Bloody Monday, whatever you want to call it. The heads are rolling off in the National Football League. 5 coaches gone, along with general managers. In Tampa, it's both Greg Schiano, general manager Mark Dermonick, included in that bunch. So there's a roundup here of names we'll give you momentarily. And also some names that are being mentioned for possible hires already. We'll update you on that. Former Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow. Remember that name? Tim Tebow? Yeah, he's going to be back in football, but as an announcer. He'll be on the SEC's network, and you know he'll be drawing numbers. So all that stuff coming up. Plus, in this hour, I'll tell you about a conversation, a very enlightening conversation I had with one of the leading assistant athletic directors in the Southeastern Conference about the trouble they're having with the stadium experience and why so many fans are leaving the game or not showing up, among other things. And the other thing is, I know we talked about these cupcake games that Florida plays, where they have these teams come into the stadium and have sacrificed themselves for money, and they get $800,000. In some cases, they get a win. But there's a new day coming. The new day,
26-20.
The new day is those games are over because there's so much more money to be made by scheduling big games, and wait until you hear the amount that Florida will get for playing Michigan. It is unbelievable.
Wow.
So, I'll tell you all about that. Meanwhile, we've got headlines, we got news. First Tom, and then JJ.
Whoa.
We got that's one apiece today. You got to give us a little grace period. After 2.5 years, it's a little hard to adjust in a couple of days. Anyway, we'll have a La Salva with some of the information on the games.
There you go.
Well, today's headlines, it is Black Monday in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns fire Rob Chizinski after only one season at the helm in Cleveland. Never gave him a shot to really get anything. Jim Schwartz out as the Lions head coach after their collapse this year. You remember Jim Schwartz is the guy that...
Kind of a snarky guy.
The guy got upset because he got slapped a little too hard on the back by Jim Harbaugh. The Bucs have canned Greg Schiano. No surprise to me that Greg Schiano out and the general manager out in Tampa with the Bucs. And they say Lovie Smith's the guy they're looking at. That's the guy on the radar, buddy.
Hey, you won 10 games in Chicago and got fired.
Leslie Frazier out as the Vikings head coach.
Never had a quarterback.
And, of course, Mike Shanahan, fired by the Redskins. Good friend of yours,
My good friend Mike Shanahan.
Out as a Redskin. So, all total, Chizinski, Schwartz, Schiano, Shanahan, and Frazier, all out. 5 coaches, but not so much the coaches, buddy, but as you always say, the coaches get the headlines, but there are lots more families than just those 5 that are in upheaval now with the assistant coaches and everything. It's a bad day for a lot of families in the NFL.
You know how many what the average is? I heard Mort say this on TV, my friend Chris Mortensen, that there are average of 6.8 coaches fired every year in the National Football League. Don't forget Gary Kubiak was fired earlier. So,
right. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, Johnny Manziel, Mike Evans, both according to a source, have said they are headed to the NFL. The 2 largest Aggie stars say they're out. They're going to the NFL.
It's time for Manziel to go.
Forward Shane Behannon returned from an indefinite suspension, but is now out at Louisville after another violation of university rules. And they're talking about they may redshirt Kevin Ware at Louisville.
Guy had the horrible injury last game.
Had the leg broke last year. Tony Parker is apologizing for an offensive gesture he made. The Spurs guard and French citizen apologized for using the Quinnell hand gesture that is considered by some to be anti-Semitic. So Tony Parker's apologizing for that.
That one's over my head.
The playoffs are set, buddy, so we'll get you up to speed on the playoffs, but that's pretty much all that we got going on. It's just a bad day for coaches in the NFL.
We have some college football going on.
Josh LaSalva's got the updated scores for us.
So today was the Armed Forces Bowl between Navy and Middle Tennessee, both 8-4. Started at 11:45 today. Navy only 19 yards passing, no problem. Took the game 24-6.
It's that triple option, baby.
Yep, that is. And third quarter just underway in the Music City Bowl at Nashville, Mississippi and Georgia Tech. Mississippi 13, Georgia Tech 7. Costly missed extra point. 13's a bad number.
It's that triple option. Georgia Tech runs there.
They're losing, though.
Yeah,
they're down.
Still run the triple option.
Not working so well.
No matter how much they're down by, they're still going to run the triple option.
Yeah, they'll be running that. Anything else? Tonight, so we got several games. You got the whole schedule for us.
I got the whole schedule.
I know you got one game you're interested in tonight particularly.
The Alamo Bowl, Mac Brown's last time.
How fitting, the Alamo for Mac.
Remember the Alamo. What a true Texan. I can't wait to see this game, but then again, I can wait to see this game. Number 10, Oregon versus my beloved Longhorns. Oregon 10-2, Texas 8-4, 6:45 kickoff in San Antonio. I'm not very excited about it.
Another Longhorn fan out there, Josh.
Hey, no, he's got an FSU hat on it.
Oh, look at that.
He's looking for January 6th.
Representing for the Knowles.
Hey, all right. Tell him where he can go watch the game.
Yeah, come to the Marion Theater and watch it for free on the big screen. In January, we'll be down there.
January 6th.
And then Holiday Bowl later, 10:15 in San Diego. Arizona State versus Texas Tech Red Raiders.
All right, no offense to Texas. I'm ready now for the real bowl season to start tomorrow. Got like 17 left, I think, or something.
Hey,
or
buddy.
15. Yeah.
When did the Gators play in this bowl season?
It's coming up next year.
Hey, and our heartfelt sympathies for J.J. LaSalva and his Miami Hurricane team.
No, we don't care.
They got spanked.
Did you know he actually left the game early?
Oh, no. Boo.
If he does that, we got that.
What a not true.
Boy.
I lost so many man points with my brother on that.
All right, let me tell you
the game early.
J.J. LaSalva bails early on the Hurricanes, taking a butt whipping.
Let's talk about the guy that was the single most popular figure in sports a year ago, by far, Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is back in football. Tim Tebow is going to join the ESPN College Football Network this next fall. And Josh points out on January 26th, he'll be on as a preview of it.
January 6th.
January 6th or 20th?
January 6th. And that's
so he'll be on to the national championship.
Yes.
On ESPN. All right, so we'll see him on TV. He will do great. He has a huge following. You like Tebow? You follow Tebow? He's okay. He's okay. He was easily the most popular figure in sports, unbelievably, to us. Remember the time 2 years ago we counted ESPN mentioned him something like 130 times in one sports center?
Yes.
He was the number one selling jersey briefly and out in Denver. The guy just has something about him that he's magnetic. If he goes into politics, he'll be a slam dunk to be elected to whatever he runs for. He'll be great when he learns how to broadcast. In my opinion, he should give up football. He'll have more impact in doing this than he does in football.
Footballers gave up Tim Tebow. It's about time Tim Tebow gives up football.
Well, Tim
Tebow
plenty.
has whatever it is. If you want to define it,
question.
Tim Tebow has that.
You know what he doesn't have? A job in the NFL. That's what he doesn't have.
Yeah.
Hey, he's making more money than all three of us, though.
His calling was not that. So Tebow, he says, he put a statement out there saying he's very excited. He said, I was 6 years old. I fell in love with the game. Continue to pursue my dream of playing quarterback. So he's going to continue to try to play. We'll see what happens there. It's some possibility he might wind up with some team like Cleveland, maybe. Josh McDaniel is rumored as being the guy who might go there. He's going to be the analyst for SEC Nation, so he and Paul Feinbaum will work together. How about that for a combination? Talk about the good, bad, and the ugly, huh?
Do you think Tebow will return to the NFL as a quarterback?
If he gets a chance.
If he gets a chance, but Cleveland has said that they're very interested in Johnny Manziel as well.
Well, how couldn't she be?
So, buddy, Josh brought up a bowl that's going to be played later this evening, and you were alive real quick. You were in sports and doing this when this bowl game entered into the national championship picture. What was the talk like in 1984 when the Holiday Bowl winner BYU was awarded the national championship? Did people say? Seriously, because that's how it's looked on now. Is it's a joke national championship that BYU won. How was the feeling then?
It was considered to be a sort of a fluke, and not because the people didn't respect what they did at BYU and Lavelle Edwards.
Only team undefeated.
Well, everybody else faltered. They gave it to them basically, and so. It'll be the only time in history that the Holiday Bowl will ever have a national champion. I can assure you of that. But it was a fluke. But they were a good football team. They threw it around the field. They were fun to watch. And everybody, if you go back and look at that, and Josh, you can look.
Wasn't that Jim McMahon?
Yes, I believe he was on that team. Look, I played golf with him one time. He was in his bare feet. Look up the 1984 rankings. Let's see who finished second, third, fourth, fifth. There weren't many teams who good. I think Penn State might have been up there at some point, whatever. They lost a game, and I don't remember who in the SEC was good then. Florida, by the way, was I think that year awarded.
That was the best team money could buy year, buddy.
Florida that year was ranked number 1 by the New York Times in their poll, as I recall. So 84, yeah, I think that would have been it. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll find out information for you, and we'll talk about all the bad calls yesterday in the NFL, the wild finishes, and we're going to drill down on the college football attendance issues about what I learned from one of the top assistant athletic directors in the Southeastern Conference. You'd be amazed what some of the things are that are causing problems, and I want to give a kudos to my man, Chris Collinsworth, for a really good job of picking up something yesterday on telecast that everybody else missed. And we all knew it at home.
It was brilliant.
But the officials, you're right, he was brilliant, and the officials didn't see it, but Collinsworth picked it up, and he just did it by his judgment. He could tell that the clock was off. Tell you about that, all coming your way right here next on Buddy's Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hello, it's Santa. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala, and we're on a mission to help everyone within the sound of my voice. This week, get the appraised value of your old car plus up to $3,758 off a nicer, newer car.
Our For the People credit approval process will get you approved.
But like Santa, we can only do this once a year, so hurry in.
Or call 694-1234. See our Prestige.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
Good talk, great conversation. WOCA, News Talk 1370.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, keeping you in touch with Ocala.
Listen to yourself, churn world serves its own needs. Dummy, serve your own needs. Feed it up an ox, speed, grunt, no strength. The ladder starts to clatter with fear, fight down, high wire and a fire represented 7 games in a government for hire and a combat site. Left to us are coming in a hurry with the furies breathing down.
That's surely what's going on. It's the end of the world as we know it for 5 NFL coaches today on Black Monday. Rob Chazinski out at Cleveland. Jim Schwartz out in Detroit. Greg Schiano out in Tampa. Leslie Frazier out in Minneapolis and Minnesota. And Mike Shanahan out in our capital, Washington, D.C. All 5 coaches, Chazinski, Schiano, Schwartz, Shanahan, and Frazier, out as NFL coaches official today.
Plus, you've got the Kubiak being fired.
Was fired earlier in the
2
season.
friends of mine that got fired this year. And then on top of that, you got the GM is fired at Tampa. And so, that's happening too. So it's a bloody day.
Lot of families displaced today. But hey, I hear friends of mine that are coaches. I know friends of mine that coached after they got done playing college football and all. And they say that's the nature of the beast. That when you get hired, that's the first day towards you getting fired.
That's true, but also when you're born, you're going to die, but you're not looking forward to it.
No, exactly.
So, like the old saying goes, everybody wants to go to heaven, but not tonight. Here's an interesting story about the replacement, and there's a lot of rumors out there. Josh McDaniels, who you might remember from New England, went to Denver, and they drafted Tim Tebow in Denver, and he actually wound up starting. One of the names being mentioned about up in from the Patriots insider is that the name Josh McDaniels is a strong replacement candidate for Rob Shazinski. Now, keep in mind, what don't they have in right now in Cleveland?
Quarterback.
Right. And now, I'm not saying he'd take him in
What
the
would
draft.
they have if Tim Tebow got there? They still wouldn't have a quarterback.
They're probably going to take Manziel or somebody else in the draft. But, who knows? It may be that he'll take a chance on him, come in and try to earn a job, Maybe McDaniels might do it because he liked him before, and he might do it again.
He better hope. The only way Tim Tebow plays in the NFL is if his boy Urban Meyer gets an NFL job.
Well, he would definitely take him, that's for sure. And I'm not saying necessarily that that's a good move. I don't know that, obviously. But, a guy believes he can play, and he'll probably go to his grave believing he could play.
So far, truth be known, Tim Tebow has more playoff wins in Denver than Peyton Manning does right now.
Which, by the way, is about to change dramatically. Speaking of that, before we go to...
it's now easy to understand the playoffs, buddy.
But let me... before you go to your playoffs, let me read you a little something about your boy Peyton Manning, okay? Then we'll go to the playoffs.
Are you going to tell me his touchdown didn't count?
13-3 the last 2 years of Manning's seasons in Denver. Before that arrival, this is from my friend Dave Krieger of the Denver Post, they won that many games 4 times in 34 years. Manning put up his best year ever and the best ever by a passer in the National Football League. And listen to these numbers. Peyton established league records for passing yardage in a season, 5,477. Passing touchdowns, 55, 5 more than Tom Brady. Amazing, the numbers he's having. And 5 of his receivers had 10 or more touchdown passes. That is absolutely incredible. However, having said that, their defense is suspect. I'm not convinced they can go all the way.
No, I'm not. I don't think that they can go all the way because of that defense. I think the best team in the NFL. We saw them yesterday because their defense is so spectacular. I just believe that as long as they're playing home games the whole time, the Seahawks are a tough nut to crack.
They're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out. I definitely think they're one of the 2 best teams in the league. They're the team. I think San Francisco and Seattle probably would be my 2 choices and 2 of the best teams. Whether or not they get there, who knows? Let's go to the playoffs right now. What does it look like? When do they start? And then,
they start.
And then Josh has got the college football schedule.
They start this Saturday, January 4th, with the Kansas City Chiefs, the number 5 ranked 5-seeded team, playing at the number 4 Indianapolis Colts.
They kind of faded, didn't they?
Well, because they were a wild card, they could only get the 5th seed because Denver finished ahead of them. They're only going to get the 5th seed. So they're at Indianapolis Saturday, 4:35. That's going to be on NBC. And then number 6, San Diego, who they won to get into the playoffs, but Miami lost and the Baltimore Ravens lost. San Diego had to have both the Dolphins and the Ravens lose, and then they had to get in. They beat a very depleted Kansas City team on a very controversial win because there was the referees missed an obvious penalty that would have gave San Diego Kansas City a re-kick, and they might have kicked the field goal to win the game in regulation. And the NFL's even apologized, saying, yeah, we blew that one. Yeah. Seems like every week the NFL's coming out and saying, yeah, we blew that one.
The bad ones yesterday. I'm going to tell you about one in just a minute. So, by the way, I think there's a possibility that San Diego may be the Auburn of the NFL, the way things are going for them. So.
Well, they're playing at number 3 Cincinnati on Sunday at 1:05. That's on CBS. Cincinnati Bengals, good football team. Then the NFC wildcard round, Saturday, January 4th, number 5, San Francisco 49ers at the number 4, Green Bay Packers. But you got to really think the Packers are actually better than this.
Talk about a comeback.
With Aaron Rodgers.
Does Aaron Rodgers earn his money? I mean,
how do you let, who was the guy from Kentucky, the quarterback?
How do you get so wide open?
How do you let him behind the defense with 40 seconds to go in the game?
And then he stumbles into the end zone with no time running out.
That's Sunday at 4:40. That's on Fox. Finish. And then Saturday's game is number 6 New Orleans Saints and the number 3 Philadelphia Eagles. That's Saturday at 8:10 on NBC. And even though New Orleans is a 6th-seeded team and the Eagles are the 3rd rated team, the Saints are the better football team there. Only problem is 0-5 on the road in the playoffs in their history.
Team. They're a dome team.
0-5. Mm-hmm. So that's your first round of playoffs games.
Yeah. Before you go any further, I know my friend Tom Ingram had a party at the lake there, having to watch the Packer game. I think there might have been probably an explosion of cheeseheads down there last night. I know Randy Quinces was there. He's a big, big fan of the Packers.
Is Tom Ingram a Packers fan?
No, but he had his friends over, and Ron Zook was there, and I know that Randy Quinces' whole family is.
Any chance he gets friends over, he's fine.
Yeah, and my son-in-law, Jeff, is a big Packer fan.
I was amazed. I was at a local eatery just up the road from here, buddy, and at about 10 after 4, the doors of this place just opened up. And the floodgates of cheeseheads that walked into this place, I mean, they came in probably 70 or 80 of them and just took over the place.
And I will say that the Packer fans represent. They definitely do represent.
Linda is at the house right now listening to us on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Giving the Packer salute right now. You know she is.
A couple of people threw their arms out in exultation last night when that touchdown was.
How do you get that far behind the defense?
It's amazing. And it's blown coverage. We saw a lot of that. Anything else?
0, no one's safe.
Well, the divisional rounds, of course, the people that have the bye, the Denver Broncos, the number 1 seed overall in the AFC, and the number 2 seed overall, the New England Patriots. You know, everybody said Brady's got nothing this year. Welker's gone. Hernandez is in jail. Gronkowski's injured. All the Patriots did is finish number 2 overall in the AFC.
Amazing.
And had a chance to be number 1 overall in the AFC.
Belichick did maybe his best coaching job.
You know, that's all they did.
He'd be coach of the year, except he's got it too many times. So, but I mean.
And the NFC 1st and 2nd seed that'll have a bye until week 2. Number 1, Seattle Seahawks, and they got home field throughout. And I'm telling you, it's tough to win in Seattle.
Okay.
And number 2, you know, against what everybody thought, the demise of Cam Newton was not true. Cam Newton's led his Carolina Panthers to the number 2 seed overall. So Seattle and Carolina have a bye this week. San Francisco, Green Bay, New Orleans, and Philadelphia play each other. Denver and New England have a bye this weekend, while Kansas City takes on Indianapolis and San Diego takes on Cincinnati.
All right, so coming up in just a minute, Josh will update us on the score of the bowl games, and we'll talk about that, and we'll look at the bowl game schedule for tomorrow and for Wednesday. Meanwhile, I got something I want to talk about on the NFL. We discussed that Chiefs field goal. The Chargers should have been penalized for illegal formation. Tom just talked about that. There were several calls, but really one of the big gaffes of the year took place in the game between Philadelphia and Dallas. It turned out it probably didn't affect the outcome of the game, but it could have. And I got to give it up for Chris Collinsworth, who was absolutely, as Josh said, brilliant at what he saw. Well, here's what happened late in the game with Dallas driving.
Critical moment.
Critical time on a down. After the first down, the Cowboys were penalized 5 yards for delay of game. And Collinsworth immediately said, something's wrong. That couldn't have been 40 seconds. And they replayed the play, and they replayed the clock. The clock reset at 40 and jumped to 25, just like that. And nobody on the field saw it. Nobody knew it happened. Collinsworth saw it. It acted out. You thought, surely someone's going to blow a whistle and stop it. No. They went right ahead, Luckily, they made a crucial fourth or third down play.
4th and 9.
And so they wound up getting the first down and scoring, but losing the game. But how could you lose 15 seconds in a game like that? And here's my answer to that. We have all this fancy replay equipment. We have all these officials and all this automation going on. How about having somebody watch the dead-gum broadcasts, the telecast? Just pay somebody and say, hey, did you guys miss it down on the field? Somebody watching the tell. We all knew at home what the officials did not know, and that is amazing. That could have happened. So kudos to Chris Collinsworth. Not so much the NFL officials. We'll take a break.
Imagine that you're doing what I usually do.
Well, I mean, it's just blatant. That was just a bad mistake.
Officials are just terrible people.
Now look, it wasn't the people on the field. It was somebody either malfunctioning the clock or the timekeeper. The timekeeper missed it.
Let's just be honest. Officials are terrible people.
No, they're not.
Terrible.
No home field advantage for the Cowboys.
Well, no, and it was the Cowboys timekeeper, so it wasn't like a home cooking range.
Buddy, by the way, before we go to break, we had said we were going to talk about what teams finished 1984 ranked in the top 10 in college football.
Yeah, when BYU was number one. Yeah.
In the coaches poll, it was BYU 1, Washington, Nebraska, Boston College, Oklahoma State as the top 5. In the AP final poll, because Florida was on probation, they couldn't be in the coaches poll.
Be in the coaches poll.
In the AP poll, it was BYU, Washington, the University of Florida, Nebraska, and Boston College rounding out the top 5.
The New York Times actually voted Florida number 1 in the country that year, believe it or not.
Right. So, but like you said, people lost games they shouldn't have lost. Washington, bowl games were lost that shouldn't have been lost. Nebraska lost. Brigham Young beat Michigan 24-17, but there were games that Oklahoma lost to Washington. Mm-hmm. So there was games shouldn't have been lost.
All right. Appreciate that. We'll talk about the college football schedule, who's coming up next, what the scores are. Josh will update you on that. Plus, Kingdom of the Sun basketball finals going on tonight, and we'll tell you all about that coming up next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source. Are you looking for a trustworthy auto care company that won't sell you something you don't need? Look no further than Affordable Auto Air and Care. Affordable Auto Air and Care has serviced Ocala for a decade and is family owned and operated. They offer quality parts at affordable prices, and they even include a 1-year or 12,000-mile warranty on their parts and labor. Their certified technicians work on any type of vehicle, even RVs. They specialize in auto AC, but they also offer oil changes, brake service, filters, tune-ups, shocks, axles, complete auto repair. Affordable Auto Air and Care is located at 1841 Northwest 4th Avenue on the corner of Old Jacksonville Road and 441. Call 352-401-0011 to book an appointment. That's 352-401-0011. Affordable Auto Air and Care. Complete auto repair. Take it from me, Tom Schmitz. I'm a customer.
Since 1976, Daniel L. Hightower, a lawyer, has been fighting for accident victim justice in North Central Florida and statewide. He believes everyone in America should follow the rules, including the insurance companies. He and his firm have experience fighting for victims of personal injury, wrongful death, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability, as well as serving those in need of help with bankruptcy, simple wills, and estate plans. The mission at the law offices of Daniel L. Hightower, PA, is to represent deserving clients and recover the maximum benefits they are entitled to by law in a timely manner. In personal injury and workers' compensation cases, there are no fees or costs unless a recovery is made. The law office of Daniel L. Hightower is located at 7 East Silver Springs Boulevard, Suite 300. For your free consultation, call 352-629-7777 or 1-888-LAW-1976 and visit danhightower.com for more information. Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice, and the proud sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine featuring local businesses and issues and written by local volunteers. Lady Lake Magazine has become a must-read in Marion, Lake, and Sumter counties, audited by Circulation Verification Council and serving the area for 23 years. Plus, Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. All we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 352-804-1223 and pick up your copy of Lady Lake Magazine today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound all-beef chili dog or a tasty home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
1370 WOCA.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about the shack outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
All right. Back for another half hour or so here on Buddy Sports Page. Coming up a little later, Franz Beer will update us. Gator basketball won an easy one over Savannah State yesterday. We'll get his take on Tim Tebow going into TV. If you haven't heard, Tim Tebow will be on the new SEC network. Can't imagine seeing he and Paul Feinbaum together. Wow.
You know, I was never I never listened to Feinbaum or anything. I just never did. And I watched him the other day on they were doing, it was a 30 for 30 I was watching or something. But anyway, Feinbaum was on it, and I thought, how's this guy got a job?
Well, he's smart. I've known Paul a long time. Paul and I had a little bit of a falling out here years ago about a column he wrote, which is blatantly false, and he knew it. And I called him out on it, and he got mad at me. We don't speak these days. But Paul, I go back with Paul when I did talk radio in Denver. Paul was on my show many times, and I've been on his show a number of times. He's done very well for himself. He's really moved up the ranks. He took his show and he moved it around, and he's got went on XM and grew it, and then he got connected to the SEC, and the SEC now has its own network, and doesn't hurt the fact that his team wins the national championship every year. So that's in the recent years, Alabama or Auburn have won it every year. It seems like this year not could be Auburn, but anyway. So Paul done well for himself. I wanted to. Josh is going to be back in a second. I want him to get into the Kingdom of the Sun stuff. And Josh. Okay, Josh, you went out to the Kingdom of the Sun. Update us on that, and tell us about that. What's going on there, and also let's talk about the bowl schedule.
Okay, all right. Kingdom of the Sun first. So, Kingdom of the Sun, we always expect to have some great superstar high school basketball players. You know, this year it was more defensive. It was just team play. There was no big superstar out there dunking on everybody, making threes left and right. No tremendous offense, but defensively, great games. So today is the last day of the entire tournament. We have the championship game between Cardinal Gibbons and Berkeley Prep at 7:30. But Vanguard made it to the
Vanguard
last
Gym.
day. It's out at the Vanguard Gym. Vanguard has made it to the last day of the tournament, and they play in a consolation matchup between Louisville Trinity at 3:30. So we got to figure out if they are finished.
It might be over.
It might be over by now. So That's about it, though. And we're going to talk about that interesting conversation I had.
Sure, go ahead.
So we were sitting, me and my friends, with a Tallahassee FAMU family that watching their son play. And they dawned the question on us, are you guys from Ocala? And if so, what is there to do? No one has told us where to go spend our money. They're out on 200, and I told them, how in the world do you have no idea? You're out on 200, you have everything to do there. Take a left, go out to Dillard's, go to Dick's Sporting Goods, Sports Authority. I'm sure that's where your son would love to go and spend the rest of his time here. No idea that you could go downtown, walk around, park your car, see all the beautiful lights, go eat at Harry's, go downtown, watch the movie for cheap, way cheaper than Regal. No idea. It was unbelievable for me.
So you're saying what we need is an ambassador from the chamber or the CEP or somebody. There used to be a group of people who go to these events, all wear colored shirts, a certain color, and talk to people, say, as a guide, let me give you the restaurants where they're located. Let me give you some places that you might not know about. Let me give you directions to this. Let me tell you what's happening in our city. If you want to go here, go there, see this, see that. If you want to go to Silver Springs, I'll tell you about that. So someone needs to tell these people who visit our town where they can go and how they can spend their money.
How's that not done now?
No idea.
You know why? Because we're not smart enough to bring the New York Yankees to town. That's why.
That's on hold for this week.
You said it was on hold for you. I'm still angry about it. If you want to hear how angry I am, go to our podcast page. Click on Buddy's picture, go to our podcast emblem, read what I got to, listen to what I got to say about Project Home Run.
Shameless self-promotion, but that's okay.
People that want to spend money here in Ocala and have blatantly just said that, but they have no idea where to spend it. That's what just brings question marks to mind. Why do they not have the information on where to go, where to be, what time? We need to entertain our guests from out of city, out of state.
I think there are people in this town who care about that, just don't know it. It's just getting the word out, and that would be up to us and them to tell folks that we need to do a better job in this area. And I think that maybe people at the CP and people at the Tourist Development Commission would be willing to listen to that. So it's a good point, and I hope you bring those things up. Got a couple minutes to go before we're going to go to break, because Fransberry's up next. I want to talk briefly. I won't have a chance to cover it all. Number one of these, some things I found out about college football attendance. One of the things that's going on right now is the SEC and all of college football, they're studying very closely the stadium experiences that families are having. And they know that they're losing their customers. They know that they're having to pay a lot of money. They're not having good experiences, and their friends are all home watching on HDTV. So there's some changes being made. I spoke with someone in the SEC about this, which I thought was very interesting. And one of the things I found out, two really key points. Number one, Josh, how do you get most of your information?
Surprisingly enough, Twitter.
On your phone, right?
Yes, very much so.
How would you say that people of your generation get most of their information?
Instantaneously, websites. Anything
and
on the web.
What?
Your phone.
Okay. Have you been to a stadium before and tried to use your phone?
Oh, yeah, multiple
What
times.
happens?
No service.
Okay. So this person told me if you look at the student section and you see in the second half that half of them are gone from the stadium, it's because their phones don't work at the stadium.
It's true.
Because they live by their phones. It's like cutting off their right arm. They have to have that phone. So what this at the SEC is doing, they're studying ways to improve the phone service at the stadiums so they can in fact have phones that work at the stadiums and students can use them. But it's about a $3 or $4 million project. So it's not so easy. So that's one of the problems where you're seeing so many empty stadiums. Kids are leaving. And not just that, not just other people are probably leaving who are not students. So that's one small thing I learned yesterday. And I'm going to talk more about that later. But here's another key point. We've always talked about the sacrificial lambs of small college football, going and throwing their bodies in front of a moving train, the small schools scheduling the monster teams and getting crushed. And, of course, every now and then there's an Appalachian State, or as much as I hate to say it, Georgia Southern.
26-20.
Steps up and gets a little lucky and wins a game. But the fact is they get $800,000 for that.
$550.
So whatever, some teams get more. I know so they pay as much as $800 to some teams. But the bottom line is this, is that so now what's happening is it's economics of college football. teams like that are happy to take the payday and go home, especially when they win. They got nothing to lose. They figure their kids get a chance to play. But all of a sudden, we see something happen that's never happened before in Florida. The Gators versus Michigan in 2017. They're playing the mighty Wolverines in a neutral site. So, what do you say about that? What happens when they play a team like that? They have all this money they have to expend, and they don't get as much money. Not so fast, my friend. Do you know how much Florida will take home on a payday from Michigan in a neutral site? Take a chance.
$550,000. Same thing Georgia Southern got for beating Florida. $550,000.
Not even remotely close.
Really?
They get $6 million.
$6 million.
$6 million. And their expenses aren't like going to a bowl game. And to go to a bowl game, it costs you stay for a week.
The expenses are covered?
No, out of your $6 million. But the bottom line is when you go to a bowl game, you stay for a week and you feed all these big crew. Their expenses are about less than 10%, about 10% of that.
Wow.
So they take home $5.4 million from a game like that. Now,
why haven't they been playing these games the whole time?
I'm not too smart, but I think I can figure out the economics on that one.
Yeah.
So you're going to see exactly what somebody predicted many years ago, more marquee games, because why? That's where the money is, because that's what people want to see on where? HD TV, which is where the games are all going. So that's me an amazing thing I learned over the weekend. I'll talk more about that later on. Well, go ahead and take a break. We'll see if we can get back with Franz Beard. We'll talk about Gator basketball and Tim Tebow's new job with ESPN after this time out on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Dr. Seaborn Hunt, board-certified ophthalmologist, the only ophthalmologist in Marion County offering bladeless laser cataract surgery with astigmatism correction. What does this mean to you? It means that your cataract surgery would be done with the newest and most advanced cataract surgical techniques on the market today. It means no more metal blades and more precise incisions. Laser cataract surgery combined with the new technology multifocal lens implants allows you the opportunity to be independent of glasses for most things that you do on a daily basis. Call Dr. Seaborn Hunt at 873-7200. That's 873-7200.
Whenever something big happens in Ocala and Marion County, Buddy Martin is there on the case.
Head coach of the Florida Gator basketball team, Coach Billy Donovan. How are you feeling right now about this team in 2013 and 2014?
But I like these kids a lot. They've worked very hard. It's a good group. The most challenging part for me has been has been the inconsistency of players in practice.
So remember, always check out Buddy Martin on the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
If you didn't catch Around the Water Cooler on Buddy's Sports Page this week, here's what you missed.
Are there any bowls, I'll read some off to you, that you think are really good bowls that may not be BCS? And which ones do you think will be? I got one. You guys want to jump in? Do you have the bowls in front of you?
I got one. Oregon, Texas, I think, just because
Oregon.
of what we talked about.
Got snubbed for the BCS.
Alamo Bowl, right? They're still really good in Texas.
Now, that
if
game,
you can beat Oregon, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, tremendous storylines right there. Marcus Mariota coming back. Mac Brown, maybe not. We'll see. Around the Water Cooler, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 o'clock on Buddy's Sports Page, right here on WOCA, The Source.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala and Bellevue. Prestige, it's all there in our name.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound all-beef chili dog or a tasty, home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now, that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
We there? There we go. Okay. There we go. Got a rookie on the board today. All right, time to go to Gainesville now. We got our friend Franz Beard on the phone.
I'm doing the best I can do, pal.
Well, that's not good enough. Josh, step in over there, will you? That's how it works. Like Billy Donovan said, if he was the player he let go, he said if he'd have been an employer, he'd have fired him. So that's what you have.
Well, there you go.
Go up to Gainesville real quick now and talk to our friend Franz Beard, who's I'm sure and busy with recruiting and basketball, a lot of stuff going on. A few Gator fans going by there, I'm looking like they're ready. Guys, Gates representing despite what's happening in Gainesville. There you go. Franz, how you doing?
Do we have friends?
We don't have friends. Well, there you go. It's just kind of how
we should have friends. There's friends.
Are you there, friends?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sorry we couldn't hear you. We have a rookie on the board today.
Hey, what do you want from me? I'm doing
Let's
the best
see if we
I
can
do.
spare it. Get this out as quick as we can. First of all, anything at all to talk about Savannah State, easy win, etc. One of those ducks they have every year, and it's kind of become a joke really to the basketball staff that when they schedule Savannah State. But anyway, they win big and they're playing in Richmond Saturday. What do you have to add to that?
Well, this was a game that Billy was giving his friend Horace Brodnick a chance to come up there and pay some expenses. They made probably $40,000-$50,000 to come here, and that's more money they'd make at a home game down at Savannah State. So he just did a favor for a friend. All right.
Florida, Michigan. I learned some interesting stuff about it. What do you think the payroll will be when Florida plays Michigan at a neutral site in 2017? What do you think the take will be from the game for Florida?
Probably $2 million.
How about times 3?
All right, 6 is good.
And think of this, the expenses are not nearly as much as they would be for a bowl game. They only stay one day and not a week. So that is a big payday. Do you think this is going to influence the scheduling of the future?
Probably so. I think that this is a trend of the future, and it helps you get these big exposure games like that will be.
Absolutely. Kurt Roper, you like the hire, and what do you know about it?
I like him a lot. He's a David Cutcliffe guy. Spreads the field and he plays tempo games. By that, it's not always fast tempo, but he plays the tempo to what he needs to do at the moment. They'll do quick huddle. They'll do fast. They'll line up quick with no huddle, and then milk the clock and not allow substitutions. And they'll do quick huddles when teams are trying to substitute. And then they'll go tempo, and fast pace you up and down the field.
If you were going to hire a coach today, would you consider David Cutcliffe as a head coach?
Absolutely. Good guy, runs a clean program. Smart guy is going to build the program the right way.
Who do you think will be the head coach at Penn State?
My guess is Al Golden.
Al Golden. All right. Let's talk about this stat. I ran across an interesting stat. You tell me what this tells you. Washington Post story says, of the 123 football FBS division programs, the head coaches as of last Friday, fewer than 30% feature a head coach's previous experience was strictly on the defensive side of the ball. About 57% have strictly offensive backgrounds, which is a trend now. And since 2008, 44 of the 66 FBS coach hirings have been from the offensive side of the ball. What does that say about the problem they got in Gainesville with Will Muschamp?
Well, what it says to me is that Florida needs an up-tempo offense to stay with the trend because they don't have it right now. Florida has either got to get in with the trend or get lost behind, because it's where the kids are going to go play.
All right, Franz Beard, Happy New Year to you. We'll talk to you later this week, and you'll catch us up on what's going on in the world of Gators. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, buddy.
Franz Beard. All right, I want to thank our guest today, our buddy Hunter Turner, who had quite a statement to make today. If you missed it, we'll probably put it on the podcast at some point. Of course, you just heard Franz Beard. Pretty good job by the big guy over there on the board today, filling in for our studs.
Yeah, I got nothing.
And also thanks to Josh DeSalva. On behalf of Tom and the gang, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great evening.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Dry, itchy, scaly skin? Do you have psoriasis? Consider joining our research study. Renstar Medical Research in Ocala is conducting a research study evaluating the effectiveness of investigational combination of two study medications for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. You may qualify if you're between the ages of 18 and 75 and have been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for at least 6 months. For more information, please call Renstar in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Qualified participants may receive study-related medical care and study medication. Compensation for time and travel may also be provided. To find out more information about this psoriasis study, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
The heart of the county. We're WOCA, News Talk 1370.
On the next day of Ocala Live, Robin.
Yes?
It says final show.
Oh, no.
Are we done?
No. This is just our last show.
Yeah, I know. Final, last, same thing. I'm going to miss doing this show. We've done it for 11 years.
Oh, I know, but we have to branch out. We have to go to New Year's, so this is our last show.
That explain. What is that music? It's so sad.
It's Old Lang Syne.
We're old.
I know.
They're kicking us out.
No.
They're putting somebody young in our place.
No. This is just the last show.
I knew this day was coming. The last show.
For 2013.
Yeah.
We're going to be here in 2014.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is kind of happy music, you see.
So it's not the last show at all.
No, it's the final show.
Who's going to be there?
We're going to have Carol Ann Baldwin on her show, You've Got a Garden.
And Joe Reichel, he'll control our damage.
That's right. And Dr. Heather Tick will tell us about holistic pain relief.
On the next day of Ocala Live, the last show.
Yeah.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source. Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. This afternoon, clouds and sun, high 75 to 81. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 53 to 64. Clouds and sun for tomorrow, high 71 to 75. Wednesday, a shower, high 74 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Andy Robb.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Unless the parents get another court order in a couple of hours, the Oakland hospital will be able to shut off life support for a 13-year-old girl who developed complications after a tonsillectomy. Docs declared her brain dead. Her parents are hoping for a miracle. If you have a 401k or mutual funds tied to Wall Street stocks, you are probably having a very happy new year. For the past 12 months, the Dow is up 26%. The broad S&P 500 gained nearly 30%, and the Nasdaq's up 38%. People working for the auto companies aren't singing the blues either. The latest, Ford says retail sales this year surged 15% through last month. If the CIA can fire a missile at a terrorist on the other side of the world by remote control from Virginia, why can't Amazon use a drone to deliver DVDs, aftershave balm, or lawn chairs to your door? FAA regulators have now approved test sites in Alaska, Nevada, New York, North Dakota, Texas, and Virginia. This is ABC News.
If you're a homeowner who's faithfully made your mortgage payments, you deserve thanks for doing the right thing. And I'd like to tell you about a powerful financial tool that rewards your commitment. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. And the tool that I'm talking about is the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. HARP is designed to help you lower your mortgage payments. It's for homeowners who are current on their mortgage payments, but due to the housing market may have little or no equity left in their home. And even if you were unable to get a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that now you may be eligible. More than 2.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of HARP and are saving an average of $250 a month. If you're one of the millions yet to take advantage, call us today at 800-QUICKEN. To learn more, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That number again is 800-QUICKEN.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states.
On the next day of Color Live, Robin.
Yes?
It says final show.
Oh, no.
Are we done?
No. This is just our last show.
Yeah, I know. Final, last, same thing. I'm going to miss doing this show. We've done it for 11 years.
Oh, I know, but we have to branch out. We have to go to New Year's, so this is our last show.
That explain. What is that music? It's so sad.
It's Old Lang Syne.
We're old.
I know.
They're kicking us out.
No.
They're putting somebody young in our place.
No.
Oh,
This
man,
is just
I knew
the last
this day
show.
was coming. The last show.
For 2013.
Yeah.
We're going to be here in 2014.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is kind of happy music, you see.
So it's not the last show at all.
No, it's the final show.
Who's going to be there?
We're going to have Carol Ann Baldwin on her show, You've Got a Garden.
And Joe Reichel. He'll control our damage.
That's right. And Dr. Heather Tick will tell us about holistic pain relief.
On the next day of Color Live, the last show.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Joe from Damage Control Services. Join me Tuesdays at 10:30 when we discuss what to do when your property gets damaged, how to fix it fast, and get back on track. At Damage Control, we specialize in helping home and business owners recover from damage caused by floods, fires, storms, tree damage, mold, and all other insurance-related disasters. So when disaster strikes, big or small, call Damage Control Services. Call me, 352-817-6574.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
America Big Money, one listener at a time. Get ready to save more, spend less, and avoid getting ripped off. This is Clark Howard.